had to bring my settings down to the lowest setting to get that crossbow to run smooth. And I've
Yeah.
got a beefy computer. And so now I'm looking at graphics that are like 1990 graphics because I had to lower my
Yeah.
graphics card so much. And I've got a
Yeah, and I really have that problem too. I really feel like I have to lower Mortal so much to be able to get it to even do like 70 frames like this, and that's my big turn off with this game. It's weird because I came back because I felt that the Unreal, and it's weird because it's funny. I started playing three different games at once, the exact same time. They upgraded this game to be perfect as only a main experience, but it doesn't play well with others, and it causes others to tank. And like I mean, Eve is doing okay with it because Eve does well with everybody, but like all the other games don't. I would say even Final Fantasy doesn't really like Mortal very much. I can feel it eating the frames right now. I'm sitting in 58, but it's a chuggy 58. It's annoying. Oh, I can't leave yet. I've got to go get Signet. I didn't think about that. Oh, well, yeah, I do. I have to go get Signet because I'm going to be out there for like 7 hours, and I'm not really down with not having it. I hate how they list all their jobs like somebody's going to give them a party. Why do you guys do that? It's like you're bragging. It's stupid.
40 70 Ti. So it's like, okay, so
He's got a 4070 Ti and he has to turn it down to 1280 by 720 to get it to run in the background. I guarantee it. This guy's got RuneScape or something running in the background. What kind of game does he play? Let's see. He's got all that girl repelling in the background. I'm guessing RuneScape. If I had to guess, RuneScape. Legends of something. Legends of something or another.
so I had to so I lose.
Let's go see what this guy does because I like him actually. I like this Tarkus Zone production guy. Though it seems weird how it says Zio Tarkus Zo. I don't know. Let's see what else he does. Wait, I want to go back. Oops. Wow, he put his full name on
Hello and
the on
welcome
the.
to the dark.
He put his full name on his YouTube channel. That is so fucking brave. I would not do that. There is no fucking way I would ever do that. Yeah, it's not. Nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah, I watched that one already. I think. Well, anyways, I came to this to. I want to see. I want to open that link in a new tab and see what he actually covers. This guy does real life stuff, Power World, Gigantic. He does e bikes. Now that's weird. He's got a full movie here that he can get views with, which I don't really understand that. He's able to repost movies here and get hundreds of views on his channel, which is something. I mean, there's Reefer Madness. That's insane. And he's getting hits with them too. Dune Awakening, Power World, Ashes of Creation, Ars Notoria. Let's see what Ars Notoria is. I've never heard of that before. Ars Notoria. Oops. Ars Notoria review.
Iron nodes out here. Yeah,
So I guess I watched
guys
this,
and
but
gals, welcome back to
I guess I didn't really
Nerd
pay
Castle.
attention.
Today in the
Maybe.
world of indie games, we'll be taking a look at a title called Ars Notoria. This is an open world survival RPG
There, I got it.
that's set in a medieval world
That's
after
so
your
bad.
village gets burned down. Today we're going to jump on in and see if this is a game that's worth your notice, figure out whether or not this is something we all want to play. If after watching this you wanted to check the game out, they do have a demo. I don't know how long that'll be available. I'm now recording after the Steam Next Fest. I'm still hitting demos that were on the Next Fest, but they are subject to go down at any time. What I do is I load up on demos the night that it ends, and I leave my Steam in offline mode so that the demos can't get pulled, so that I can still get my recordings done. But the link is down below. On top of that, you can also take a look down there, and you can find a link to my
Smart
Discord
play. I like it.
just in case you wanted to hang out live. Let's go ahead and start playing the game. So as far as making a new character goes, I'll probably leave him exactly the way that he is, but it looks like we can have...
That's a pretty good creator.
Of musculature. It looks like that's...
I like the background.
Right
Looks
now,
like
so
New
yeah,
World.
just keep it on main. And we'll go splat right there, and I think that should be good enough. Let's go ahead and start the game. Don't look at Fart over here. Don't you look at Fart. Fart's just doing his own thing right now, all right? He was a test fart, just to make sure that the game was cool.
Yep.
We're going to start a new game on normal difficulty. We'll call the server Splat, just to keep things going quickly. And let's confirm it, and then we'll accept, and we'll dive on into the game. Dude, that guy got beat to hell. He just stood there and took it, too. He didn't even try to get out of the way. There's a sword coming. That's an axe.
I get out the way.
When that's coming towards you.
When I see piss coming, I get out the way. Yep. Okay. This is like wasting valuable seconds. Let's go.
I want to be able to actually craft anything. Looks like there's a goat over on that side. My general experience with goats in this game is that you can walk up and milk them, but they make... And just like that, we wake up on the edges of town. We'll skip the tutorial because I...
Let's go take a look at the status of Ars Notoria, but first I would like to chop a tree. I'm on the bearer, huh?
kind of like know what I'm doing. I played around with the game for a little while prior to the recording. Not very long, like 10 or 15 minutes. But let's have a look around. So we
graphics look okay
in an open world where
ooh, the animations aren't that good.
Whatever the hell we want. For the moment, we've got to do that normal Minecraft thing, though. And we need to find some sticks, and we need to find some rocks so that we can start manufacturing some tools and getting ourselves ready to go to face the world. Because without weapons or anything else like that, we're gonna have a bad time. Are there any rocks around here? Can't pick that one up. I can get that one though right there. That's good. We're gonna need an axe. We're gonna need a pickaxe. We're gonna need, you know, a couple of those things so that we can start harvesting more effectively. Looks like we've had some inclement weather, but there's a picturesque horse walking by. You can get mounts and stuff in this game. I haven't done it yet, but let me run around and see if I can find any trees or
no, you've been playing for 15 minutes. What are you talking about?
You can punch down trees if you want to, but it takes a little while and it's a little bit stamina intensive. And since we've got bad weather right now anyways, might as well wait for the sun to come up. Couple of twigs right there. It's a start, all right? Everybody's got to start somewhere. Maybe start laying into some trees over here with my fisticles. Since there doesn't seem to be a lot, for it being a forest, there's not a lot of twigs laying around, all right? We're just going to wipe out a tree. So we've got 3 right there. We need to find some more rocks, though.
I like it so far. It seems better than Valheim.
There's a goat over on that side.
It looks better than Valheim.
In this game is that you can walk up and milk them, but they may take offense to that. It's your call. You've got to make the decision whether or not you
kind of looks like a cell phone game a little bit.
Just some iron ore laying around on the ground over here too. There's a bandit camp on that side. There is combat in this game. There are bad guys around. You can also see a big old boar running through the roughage over there. I definitely rather not have that kind of problem on my hands. Going up against a boar with your bare hands just seems like, do you want to die? Like, are you attempting to die? People, I don't think people have enough of a clue just how mean boars are. The place where I live is filthy with them. Boars everywhere. And man, them things are mean and cranky. You got any rocks over here? Hey, there's one. Alright, so we got enough rocks to do something here. I would suggest starting with a quarrying hammer. But unfortunately, we don't have enough for that. We do have a quest, I think, to go through the village over here that just got destroyed in the opening little bit. We may be able to find something useful
Wait.
around here.
Wait.
Just got destroyed in the opening little bit.
I don't mind that. That's actually okay. Seems more competent than say mortal.
We may be able to find something.
Let's see. Ars Notoria. Let's go look at what the status is on the Steam. Ars Notoria has a demo that I can play. Explore the fantasy world of Ars Notoria, survival action RPG set inside an open world sandbox that lets you hunt powerful possessed creatures, strike out on your own, or play together with friends to build a sprawling faction. Utilize deep crafting mechanics and strategic recruiting of allies. It's an early access game. Is there any reviews? No. Four unique adventurers on the fly, each with special skills, weapons, and combat styles. You will need every trick and magical ability you can muster to guide your faction in uncovering the origins of the enthralled blight and ultimately deciding the fate of the kingdom. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. What do you want for this game? You can download the demo, but it's not even in early access yet. So no, I don't want to get like cock teased by some game that's not even out yet. What's the tags? Open world survival craft might be what I've been looking for, and I haven't really been able to narrow down. Dead Side for $9. Open world survival shooter where you challenge yourself in hardcore PvP and PvE encounters, store valuable loot in safe zones, or build your own base, all tied together by tactical gameplay, beautiful visuals, and optimization that'll run on a toaster. It has mostly positive reviews. It does look good. Let's see if anybody has anything to say. 4 years later, still ass. Players game. This one's a gem. Just an overall solid foundation for a survival looter shooter. It has all the basics I've been looking for. A few things with the FPP character movement. It wobbles a little strange at times. Hidden gem. Guns are good, but you need them to get food and more. You start by taking out scabs or whatever low tier gear. Got this back in 20 to pay for 100 and then but now to watch a few videos of this this time it took me waiting for to get better out there like this game, get the supported pack DLC, trust me. Towards realism when it comes to shooting, survival is on the light side, eat food, drink water, that's it. Thing to do is pretty simple to do. Mission high tier, better rewards solo. This game is super fire, relaxed shooter. It's really good, but it feels like Scum Tarkov had a baby. Okay. Yeah, but Dead Side, Nightingale, Days Gone, Small Land, Icarus, Grounded, Satisfactory. This is what I've been looking for. I didn't know that open world survival craft. Green Hell for $8. Myth of Vampires for $30. I heard Myth of Vampires, which was actually really good. I don't know. It's weird because every game that I come across now says like positive. Every game. See? Every single game here has very positive or higher. And that seems weird because not most of these couldn't possibly be that good, right? Overwhelmingly positive. New and trending for this is the Planet Crafter. Pal World, no. Myth of Empires was the other multiplayer war sandbox game. Oh yeah, this is the one with all the troops and everything? No. Mixed. There's a bad review. Nightingale's mixed, Auto Forge, Omega Crafter, Small Land, Diana. So, can we get like top rated? The Forest? Are you serious? The Forest is higher rated than the fucking Rust? Are you serious? None of these games can hold a candle to Rust. None of them. Don't Starve can. Terraria can, but not the rest of them. Valheim, not even Valheim, no. Rafts, no. Zomboid kind of can, I think, but... Seven Days to Die was an okay game. The Long Dark, I heard, was fairly good, but it was not really what I'm looking for. It's unfortunate. Well, let's... Ugh, I'm still trying to run. Damn it. Am I out of stuff? Yeah, I am out of stuff. So, I get to go farming now. Because until I make sales, I can't really do anything. I guess I'll go check and see if I got sales. If I didn't, I'll go farming. Castle Miner Z. Oh, there's a lot of bad games here. You know, I liked Crashlands. I thought Crashlands was actually a very good game. I just didn't think it was very, like, fun. You know, it was a great game. It just wasn't very fun. Now I'm down in the dregs. And I realized that there's like only one other game in the list that's like, and it's weird because it's not popping. DayZ should be right here on this list because Russ is the one that sells the most, yeah. And the Planet Crafter is doing really well, I guess. But I mean, yeah. I probably should have bought Project Zomboid by now. I don't really like Project Zomboid. I returned it last time I played it. I was like, this is not the game for me. Too isometric and too 2D. I guess I go farming, which is fine by me. I actually haven't done that in a while. Conan Exiles, I think, is a good game. It's just not a very fun game. It's the problem. And it played too much like an MMO and not enough like a survival game either. It was weird. We will go hunt dark elementals in ice and such. Just kill demons and elementals. They won't kill me like they used to. I'm like 5 levels up now than what I used to be. And they're not going to kill me like they used to. Even if they link, they're not going to fucking fuck with me like they used to. It'll be fun to play BST. I haven't done that in a while. Like a week or something. I own Scum, and I haven't gone back to it in a while. Scum was good.
You've been examined.
Deliberate, but there was like stuff in this game that you can't, like, I don't know, like there was like I don't know, it's just kind of weird. But you can go to the bathroom in Scum, which is weird. And that's a little bit more customization that I'm looking for. Maybe your own server, though. If you can make your own base on your own server, it might actually be really good, maybe. It's an older game now. Oh, I could probably contend at the outpost now and not even have to walk, but I don't think most of that stuff drops like good items, really. Like the goblins do, sort of. But I think I'm after elementals today and orcs, so we'll go out there to Valdunia, just grind mobs kind of slowly. Mostly positive, yeah. Dying Light, Sunken Land, Void Train, Long Dark, Subnautica, Farthest Frontier, Days Gone, Terror Attack, Stormworks. Far Cry Primal got a very positive rating and is $7.50 right now. I don't want to play Far Cry, though. I know what it is. It's clearing goddamn outposts, and I don't really want to do that. It's not good enough. Could take another look at Scum. You know, that is actually a game that it might be a little bit more satisfying to me than I thought, but like I can't remember.
Been useful around here. We may also get
I'm just gonna listen to this video.
We've got bacon, we've got grapes, and we've got tomatoes. I don't know what culinary perfection I'm gonna be able to pull through with that. But there is a chest back here. What's up with the chest? There's a cup. Okay, it's used as a decoration. I've got a bucket. What can I do with a bucket? I can wear it on my head as armor. Sure, why not, dude? It worked out for one guy's guitar career. How bad could it be for me? Oh, good. And I think the sun is starting to come out. That would be nice, because I can't see a damn thing right now. It's dark, all right? It's very, very dark. Got barrels full of grapes over here. Is that a cauldron? Can I put that on my head? I can. I like the aesthetics of the cauldron better. I think the cauldron accentuates who I am as a human being. I think this represents me. It's not a phase, Mom. This is who I am now.
I'm fucking full-blown dome head, cauldron head, bitch.
Let's see. We've got goat meat. We got some wheat flour.
The looting system looks better to me than like fucking DayZ.
Stuff from town, like there's food laying around everywhere. Maybe that's not what they were here for. I found a scooper. I don't think a scooper is exactly what I'm going for at the moment. What else you got for me? Some bell peppers? I do like bell peppers. Bell peppers probably goated for me as far as vegetables go. Looks like it's just assorted cooking goods inside here. Oh, hey, what's up, Larry? How you doing, man? You had better days? I bet. Some fish, some mugwort. I guess we can make a stone knife if we so desire to do so. I don't know.
I don't think I aggro any of this anymore, which is good.
Little knifey shank, probably not a bad idea.
Maybe the bad eyes still. I don't know.
Is that a meat cleaver? Ooh, it gives us slashing damage. Hold on, I need the meat cleaver. Let me get the meat cleaver in my life. Let's put that on our 4 key. Yeah, alright, we weaponize now, boys. There we go. Now we got the capabilities. I don't know if this has durability on it, but hey, I'm no longer unarmed by comparison to everybody else on the map. Let's test out the cleaver on this rat over here. You're not allowed to loot camps until you kill the stuff that's around. Okay, they probably want to add some comboing or something to the weapon right there just so the animation doesn't look so stiff. But the rat is dead. We have slain it, and thus we have gained the right to take wheat, I guess, up and off of that cart, which has unlocked the ability to make a scythe for harvesting things out in the woods. Another rat over here. Let's go get him. Just moonwalking along like he's feeling himself. That's right. Bleed,
Oh,
rat.
that combat does not look too
Bleed.
good.
It looks like I have now leveled up. I don't know exactly what that entails because the character menu is unfortunately disabled
Oh, yeah,
right
I'm
now.
immortal, huh?
So I don't think leveling up is really going to be that much help at this exact junction. But hey. Oh, cool.
Your skill has increased.
Too, sort of like Bethesda style. I've gotten better at swords. I don't know that what I have right now fully qualifies as a sword, but I'll take it. We've got some kind of mill over here. What's going on with the mill? Anything I should be concerned about going on over here at the old miller's residence? Another rat! Time for us to go to
Your skill
Valor's
has
War.
increased.
It seems like we really have a leg up on the rat. I don't know if they're going to have, if you notice, there's a little meter that's building up right there. I don't know if that's like a balance meter or what that might be like if we get a stun when that
Your
pops
skill
up.
has increased.
But down goes that rat too. If anything, I have a lot of rat pelts and I have a lot of rat meat. We've got some rocks over here. Finally, dude. I've been looking everywhere for these rocks. Let me grab that. Let me grab that. I saw another stone over. It doesn't matter. You know what? We're just going to make a hammer. So now that we have a hammer, should be able to take that, put that on our 1 key, and then we can just quarry these rocks over here so that I don't need to look for them anymore. And rock indeed it did. Good. I'll probably just punch some trees then. Does the actual... Can I use this to knock down trees? I mean, it is a meat cleaver. It's got an edge on it. It does work for chopping down trees, so we've learned something today. Let's go back and we'll make ourselves a stone axe, I guess, so that trees will come down a little bit easier. And now that we got
You
our
didn't even
stone
tell me how much
axe all
damage that
locked
over there
in,
got.
it's
140.
looking like it's about to be nighttime. So since the visual feed has already been a little bit rough, what with the inclement weather, the last time I played through it was all sunny and blue skies and green landscapes. I do like that there's a chop animation, but there's also an attack animation, so that's nice. We'll chop down some of these little trees over here. Looks like the game wants me to set up a campfire, so let's take a look at these lighting effects over here and see how it goes. I do want to find a good spot, though. Like, I'm very, very picky about my spots when it comes to building in games like this.
You can build?
Rat, too, that wants to smoke right down the road. It looks like he respawned. Die, rat. I'm now level 5 at swords. Better than being level 0 at swords. Can I, like, go through the cart? Looks like we got some Latucci's. Alright. Well, let's just set up the campfire over here, I guess.
The Tushis?
Inside of our build menu, we've got basic encampments. I actually really like these little icons over here. These are good-looking little icons. We'll just plop it right in the middle of the road right there. And so now I can throw a cooking pot on top of that. Is that going to be inside production, or like where's that going to be hiding at? Oh, yeah, there it is right there. It's like modular. Sick, dude. Now I can throw stuff in the pot. All right, let's throw some stuff in the pot then. I would like a bacon lettuce. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do like
BLT.
a bacon lettuce thing right now.
Yeah, why
I
not?
don't know if it actually did anything for us. Well, I've got a rat trophy as well that I can display proudly. What if I put multiple vegetables inside of here? Hey, we figured something out. Fried vegetables 1. Okay, an apple and a pomegranate. What's that gonna do for me? Nothing real. Well, it looks like it made something. Oh, it made fruit salad. Oh, the meat dish worked
yeah.
too. We made like meat with vegetables. Sick, dude. Looks like it gives us health regeneration and stuff too. Hell yeah. Do we have, so like inside the encampment menu, how hard is it for me to make like a sleeping spot so that we can wait till tomorrow? I have a tree stump that I can put in right here. I think that counts as like a chair. There we go. I can sit introspectively while we wait for the morrow. I can bask next to the flame. One thing I do like is contextually. I just decided to chop down some trees while we wait for morning. But I do like that contextually, if you walk up to any object and hit E, it automatically equips the object you need in order to
Oh
harvest
yeah, that's cool.
that particular thing. Oh, my softwood storage
Yeah, like
is
New
full,
World.
huh?
Yeah.
What can I do about that? Do we have any, like, storage vessels or anything? Like log piles? We do. We have log storage over here, so that'll increase my global storage on logs by 30. Alright. I do like that they have the little guide arrow already, too. So there we go. We now have a log pile, which presumably will allow me to hold more wood in my inventory. I don't know if I've got a spot where it says, ooh, there's a level up right here. Strength, so our melee damage goes up. We've got agility. We've
Bucket
got
Head's
magical
so good.
arts. We've got health. Let's put some into strength, I guess. Let's put some into endurance. My stamina leaves something to be desired at the moment. Oh, we've also got skill trees inside of here. How do I get to this menu? Oh, we've also got, okay, so this is where the resources are stored. So you don't actually keep them on your person. They're inside of this little menu over here so that you can keep track of them. As far as leveling up goes, like, what is this going to cost me? So we've got a lash, we've got a stab, we've got a cleave, we've got a sidestep. I do kind of dig the sidestep, dude. Maybe I'll get the sidestep. And then we've got like a roll right there. I like that. We'll get the cleave.
Lamb chop.
And maybe we'll get like incision as well. And then we'll confirm it. I found my dodge too, so we can actually dodge roll out of the way of things if we actively need to. I'm hoping it doesn't.
There's a
come to that.
dodge?
I would rather not spend my time dipping and dodging. I don't have anything for the pickaxe just yet. Looks like we
Really?
can get like a, man, there's
You
a
don't
lot
like
of little
dodging? I
crafts
like
and things
dodging
in
and
here, aren't
stuff.
there?
If it's like
I think
you
we
don't
gotta
get
figure
it.
out cloth.
There, I got 2 clusters
Figuring out
now.
cloth, I think, requires us to be able to harvest things. So can I make like a, we've got a knife over here. Is that used for fighting? Oh, it's for herb harvesting. Okay, we've also got a sickle for wild fibers. Sure.
It seems
Go with the sickle.
way
Why
deeper
not?
than a lot of these
I
other
now
games that I've
have
been
a
playing.
Sicklification. It does tag everything on the map that you've found so far. So that's going to be a good thing to know about as well. Looks like it's mostly wheat that's up on the map right now. I was hoping we would run across, I don't know, some cotton fibers or something. But maybe I should just focus on harvesting anything and everything for right now. The sun has finally decided to come up. So we've got a little bit of illumination for the first time ever. It's still kind of like a muggy, crappy day. But what are you going to do about it? I don't exactly know what my next goals are, or like what I should be working on. So, let's go to the journal and figure it out. It wants me to make a primitive weapon. We've got iron tools around here, and we've got cooking food. It wants me to make a pot to store it inside of. It also wants me to explore the wood. Hey, there's the color. It's back in the world right now. I was worried you guys would never get to see it. This is one of the downsides to recording video games, is that sometimes you just get bad weather multiple days in a row. So you end up sitting around twiddling your thumbs, listening to Spotify and going through Reddit or something while you wait for
Your skill has
optimal
increased.
filming conditions, because you can kind of see the inevitable comments from people being like, nah, too dark, don't want to play it. What is that? Is that cotton right there? I need cotton, dude. Let's get it. That looks like a cotton plant to me. Yup, we got ourselves a fiber out here. There's another cotton right over here by this cart, too. I'm trying to make like a tent or something that allows me to skip the nightfall. That's all that I care about for right now, is how do I skip the night? That's what I want. Night skippage. All the night skippage.
I got a
It
range.
says
I
that
am
I
out
have
of
the option
range.
to do a tent, so maybe I should try that. Looks like we need 6 in
I
order
feel
to get
like the
that going.
Blizaga's gonna kill me.
Okay. Let me run around the map a little bit and see if I can find any more cotton around. Looks like there's a cotton over there. Oh, there's a whole cotton field on that side. Hold up. Let's just go down the road then and get the cotton. Oh.
No, don't cast it on
Promised
me.
land of the
No.
cotton.
No.
Okay, I have really bad news. I'm too weak. Cultivated cotton apparently is built different, alright? That's what I'm learning out here. Is that cotton that hangs out is built different. So we need better, we got a poor quality tool right now, so we got to get a better tool before we can harvest that. You know how these, like, incremental systems
No,
go.
it's
I do
Blizaga.
have a
No, no,
pickaxe,
no.
though. So maybe, I saw a bunch of iron nodes out here. Yeah, I saw some iron nodes out here. Let me see if I can go get some iron. Is it tent over
I'm just
there?
gonna sit. I
Who
don't
is
care.
that guy? Is he friendly? They don't look friendly, and they look like they have guns. I don't have a gun. Like, I'm fine with, like, rushing at them like a maniac out of the woods and attempting to murder them. But I don't know if a cauldron is going to protect my tender body from the ass-whooping that becometh. I have a bloomery over here, but I need peat.
Oh my god, no.
I don't know what peat has to do with anything, but we need to go see Pete, alright?
Oh my god, stop.
Big spooky cave over here.
Your skill has
Wonder
increased.
what's inside the big spooky cave. Oh,
Please
bunch of guys that are
attack.
armed with weapons. I would
Please
like to leave now.
attack.
Thank you. Bye. Ugh,
No!
there's so much love
God
in
damn
life.
it, why did you aggro me? Ah! Pop aggro and bullshit link right off the bat. God damn it, you motherfucker, man.
Peat, but I don't have what it takes to harvest
Oh.
it. So fuel deposits can only be harvested by putting a harvesting machine nearby. Is that difficult to do?
Fucking demon. I was fighting an elemental. Why did you aggro me?
Looks like
I was
already
standing in
got
front of you. Why didn't you aggro before?
Alright.
Piece
put
of
in the
shit
hauling
developers.
There's our
God
hauling
damn it.
machine. Now can I harvest from it?
You're inconsistent.
Oh, so I gotta like come collect from this thing. I do like how it's like animated though. I know it's nighttime right now, so you guys can't really see none too good, but still. Looks like I have the stuff for a bloomery too. So maybe we'll just like drop that over there.
Fucking
Now I've got
so
ingots to rack up,
annoying.
And this guy just turns like 10 of that into iron bricks. Okay, throw it in there. Why not? I need better tools so that I can get all that cotton that's over by the village. The cool thing is we don't actually have to collect from these peat haulers. They just automatically put it inside of our inventory. So I came back over here expecting to have to check on it, and that's actually not the case. And that got me kind of wondering, like, so there was an iron vein right here? With a horse sleeping next to it, I guess. Is the horse my enemy?
Why
Why
are-
is the
okay.
horse my enemy? I don't want to be enemies with the horse. Man, horse is so hostile up in this neighborhood. So that got me wondering, like if I do like a drill press over here, what'll that do for me? Oh, it's only for sandstone. Gotcha. I thought maybe, so my thought was that maybe it would allow me to harvest the iron or like the stone the same way that I did the peat previously, where it would just add to my inventory no matter where I am on the map. And so I figured I would give that a go. Unfortunately, it does not work out like that. I also don't know how to break down machines and get my stuff back. I haven't seen like a deconstruction mode available so far. Oh, I just smack it until it falls over. Good stuff, good stuff. Let's go check on our bloomery real quick, because that should be spitting out some iron ingots for us now. We've had inclement weather 3 days in a row, and unfortunately the game is very dark and not very colorful and not very enjoyable to look at while it's raining. They might want to adjust the weather modifier a little bit. There we go. Take out that rat real fast, because it won't let me do any kind of construction or any kind of building while this stuff is happening. So I've got 8 iron ingots right there. What can I do? So we've got a weaponsmith's workbench. Is there like a toolsmith's workbench that I can play around with too? It looks like we need to actually process lumber in order to get that done. So from softwood logs we can make lumber. And I'm guessing that's in like the carpenter station somehow. There we go. We've got a circular saw inside the lumberjacking menu. Okay. Let's put that right there. Cool. Now that we've got this thing, it looks like we can load logs into it and it'll make us the things that we want. I've gone into first person mode. Now I don't know how to get out. It was the V key. Honestly, kind of pretty out when it's raining though. Like they've got that same weather effect that Valheim has that makes the rain look really, really good. I need to process some trees. That's pretty much it. I gotta get some logs and I gotta get some other stuff. So let's go victimize nature a little bit. We'll go lean kind of heavy on nature real fast. I'm not hating it right now. From what I've played so far, I've recorded for about an hour. This is gonna be edited down quite a bit. There's a lot of wandering to figure out like the crafting materials and stuff like that you need. But I think once you get that out of the way, it all starts to flow pretty well. And there's a definite level of jank here, but I really like the menu layout, and I really like the anime. Like, the character feels all right to interact with the world. I don't hate it. And so I think they're on like a good path right now. It looks like, I'm hoping they're going to allow you to do single player servers and stuff like that as well, so that you don't have to worry about other people hot dropping on into your server. I don't know if the game's intent is for it to be multiplayer cooperative. I did see a PvP tab when I was setting up the server at the beginning, but the PvP tab was grayed out, so I don't think that they have that ready to go either. So I don't know if they're trying to set up for a Rust-like experience, or if they're totally cool with it just being all PvP all day, or all PvE every day. I don't know. Either way, we got our logs. Let's head on back to the processor over here. I don't know if I have any more.
That was 8,000 gil, that one kill. This is my spot. I'm just going to stay here. I don't care.
Question. We don't have the little icon next to our character, but it looks like we're going to get a level up pretty soon, so let's go ahead and carry on doing what we're going to do over here. The sawmill is spinning away, doing its thing. Sawmill, take those on in. I'll take those on out.
Oh yeah, I'm on mortal still.
I think I needed like 6 of these in order to make myself... there's another rat over here, dude. I unfortunately built my base right next to a respawn, and it won't let you build while there's enemies around. So I keep having to go over and murder that rat every time he comes back to life. Looks like this is meant to be up against a wall right there. We haven't even got to do any of the fun building or like base. It looks like there's going to be palisades and defenses and all kinds of things you can build too. So I don't know, we might need 2 of these. Make it go a little bit quicker possibly. I could probably throw down on another circular saw over here. Get it like right there so that maybe I can interact with both simultaneously. And then we'll just like double our outputs. Sounds like the plan to me. Is this guy still baking off any goodies over here? I'll keep throwing iron into it too so that that's done by the time we get around to building things. For right now, it looks like we do have a weaponsmith's bench over here, but it's going to take us quite a bit of soft lumber to get there. So let's work on the soft lumber so that someday we can be accomplished at the heavy lumber. That hard lumber, whatever man's looking for. Having finally gathered up our stuff here for the next line of production, we can do a weapon bench around here if we want to, and I think it's not a terrible idea. It's possible the weapon bench may have access to new tools or something like that. It looks like this is mostly weaponry. And it looks like we're going to have upgrading, reforging, socketing, salvaging, enhancing. Wow, so they got like plans for this game and how it's going to open up and like all the various crafts and things. So there's not only like primary crafting, there's also like secondary and tertiary crafting. Fair enough. Good stuff. Looks like we have a debarker over here as well that'll like make, if I have this here, it makes us process lumber faster. It gives our base like a global bonus to lumber production because the lumber is pretty slow as of right now. It's like taking its time. I need to figure out how to get tools though. I'm guessing it's inside this little engineering menu right here, and there's potentially something that I'm missing inside of that menu, or maybe the carpenter's workshop will get me there too. We've got a lot of benches and things going down right now. We don't really have a particular place to sleep at, so I guess I'll just make a little tent right there. Gives me cover from the rain, but it doesn't look like we have a sleep menu. Oh, you can customize it too, and there's the destruction thing that I was talking about, so I don't really have to like smack it up. Okay. I was hoping it would let me sleep through the night so that we could get some more daylight, but I guess that's the way that she goes here in the world of Ars Notoria. Now that we spent a little bit of time farming, I kind of want to see if I can make a better weapon. There's like halberds. There's a pistol inside of here so that you can have like a musket or a gun.
Warp drive active.
It's kind of dope. Looks like there's like blunderbusses and things inside of here as well. Let's make the mace. So we have the mace. Maybe we'll equip it right there. And then from there to like right there. Oh yeah, dude, we got the whomping stick now. I gotta find something to whomp. It's kind of dark and it's kind of spooky, but I gotta find something to beat the crap out of. Avast, ye foul ratos! Face me! I don't think I'm very good with maces, but there you go. I've unlocked a new skill as well. Ars Notoria, I don't hate it. It's got like kind of an Outlands vibe that's sort of working on me right now. It's a little bit wonky, but you can tell they have big plans for it, and you can tell that they have like things that they want to do with it just from like the placeholders and stuff that are around already. It's a little bit dark too much. Like I think they could kind of universally increase the brightness of the game a little bit. Like even during broad daylight when it's raining, it's still kind of like dark, and it's sort of like this dull sort of darkness that's ill-defined. It's kind of hard to put your finger on. So there's definitely like a brightness, or there's definitely like a lightness slider or something like that that could be fiddled with. I want to make the broadsword, but like I need leather in order to do that. How do I process some leather out right here? Well, I remember
Autopilot
to
jumping.
death, so maybe there's like a different quality of leather that unlocked it, and I actually.
Warping to station. Warp drive active. Approaching station.
I don't think so.
Docking request accepted.
All right, this was interesting.
And if you're buying it for PvP, I
Autopilot
just explained to
disabled.
you that it kind of
Waypoint
made it so
reached.
that you're going to injure, if you're melee, you're going to injure any friendlies around you. So they say don't do it. So you're basically at crossbows at war is what you're playing here, or magic at war. And if you're not into ranged weapons, for me, I'm into ranged weapons for first-person shooters like Battlefield or Paladins and fast-paced, Rainbow Six games. Those are my kind of, ranged weapon.
Your skill
games
has
that I like to
increased.
play.
I'm gonna
I
make
don't
so
like
much
to
money
come to a
sitting here.
medieval game like this, and to be told that I have to use a crossbow if I want to get anything done. So I'm at a 4 out of 10, folks. Take it for what it is. The reviews are mixed. You got to take that with a grain of salt too, because a lot of the reviews are people giving it thumbs up with 400 hours in. The game's only been released 8 hours. So if that tells you anything, that you've got people that dedicated hundreds of hours into playtesting this, and there's a lot of things that are broken in the game. So I'm thinking to myself, you got somebody that got 383 hours. Didn't you tell the developers they got broken stuff in their game? If you've got diamond, so I don't even listen to people like this. This $383 he's giving it, or 383 minutes of play. I don't give this guy any credit, because I'm thinking to myself, with that much play, maybe you should have grabbed the developer's ear and told them all the broken stuff that's in their game. And so, you got to take it with this guy's got 65 hours. Of course, these people giving it a thumbs up because they've already invested the time. So how about those people that are new, babes in the woods, they show up day one playing your game. What are they saying about your game? You know what they're saying about your game? This is what they're saying about your game. And you can look at it, 0.6, 3.1. This guy did a pretty good one at 3.1. He didn't like the game at all. You know, what gets me is another one, 74 hours. I mean, come on. I mean, these people should not be able to rate a game if they were play testing the game for months and months and months and didn't have the sense of mind to tell the developers that they were going in the wrong direction, or it feels to me it was going in the wrong direction, because I would never play this game again or touch it regardless of what they do with it moving forward, because to me they're asking too much for something that is not even close to finished. For what they've promised in the dialogue that they had with the community prior to release, they're missing 80% of their game here. That's the reality. All right, well, thank you for joining me, and this has been the Darkest Zone.
Guild Wars 3.
I played Arcade in 2023. I did a video on it in 2023. I played Arcade in 2022. I did a video on it in 2022. I also did the same for 2021, 2020. I've continued to cover Arcade every year since I began this channel, and you know what? I could play it again. I could do another video on it in 2024 as well. But what would I even say? Oh, hey, it's the same game that it has been for the last several years that I've played it. I honestly, genuinely think that would be a waste of your time and my time, because I'm going to say the same things about it that I've said in the past. I'd much rather talk about what it's done in the last year and where it's currently going, because it honestly might not survive into 2025.
Wow.
Back in September 2023, the official Arcade Steam page made a post titled Merge Plan Notice, where they went on to confirm that all Arcade and Arcade Unchained servers would be merging together in November 2023. This was due to Arcade Unchained's player base drying up, as they confirm the population per server has reached a point where it is no longer possible for you to enjoy the systems as they were designed to be.
Yep.
Unfortunately, with the current server population, we cannot continue servicing Arcade Unchained alone. Taking a look at the most popular...
So they merged the servers down to like 2, which might be fun, actually.
MMOs on Steam, we see Final Fantasy XIV as a concurrent player number sitting at 30,000, Black Desert
30,
Online at 18,000, The Elder Scrolls Online at 17,000, Guild Wars 2 at 5,000. These are all MMOs that have their own custom, dedicated launchers. Disregarding Guild Wars 2, because there was no way of linking your Steam account with your existing account, leaving many players stuck with the custom client, Final Fantasy XIV, BDO, and ESO are all averaging quite significant numbers. Steam makes up a substantial portion of active players across the MMOs, which is why looking at Arcade's 180 concurrent players is so concerning.
Maybe they all... I wonder sometimes if they all went private, because the private doesn't limit you
Steam makes
on those crappy, like, those PP points or whatever they did for the labor points. So the labor points that they did ruin the game, and apparently on the private they didn't limit you. So that might actually be a really good private experience, and I might be missing out, kind of.
Up 10% of an MMO's active concurrent players. That means that Arcade has an average of 1,800 players.
It was too Korean for me. Kind of like Terra. Terra was a hard game for me to live in, because once you're done with a zone, you're like done with a zone. You never want to go back there again. You're like, you know. And then you're like, the PvP's like not really good. It wasn't good. It wasn't gonna be good.
Makes up to 20%, then that's 900 concurrent players. You can see how this continues to become progressively more dire as the percentage increases, which is
Arcade's just dead.
The case.
Probably dead.
Next, I decided to go to social media to see how active they were posting across Twitter, Facebook, and it turns out that the official social media pages were shut down, with the game being serviced by the official Kakao social media channels. I verified this by navigating over to the official Arcade website and seeing a Discord link and Twitter link that led to the Kakao page, which averages 10 likes per tweet and has almost no tweets related to Arcade at all over the course of the last month. Next, I went to the official subreddit to attempt to get a gauge as to how active the community there was. Reddit is always a good indicator as to how large and communicative players are, and not only did I see only 11 people active during peak hours, but only 5 threads made over the last 5 days. Evidently, the game is not in a very good state right now, but let's take a look at their website. See the content cadence, the events, the updates. We'll cover the last 6 months, since that's roughly how long has passed since the server merges happened. Before we delve any deeper into Arcade, however, allow me to thank our incredible patrons over on...
Hello and welcome to my 2024 beginner's guide for Black Desert. Now in this video, I'm gonna talk about a few things that I believe now, so you can see that the red ones are windows that you literally can't move. Like those windows you can't move. And then hard, right? Okay, we're gonna just do this real quick, and then we're gonna go to the next part. Now this is the main quest, right? But as you're walking through, there's gonna be a lot of NPCs that just have quests for.
Man, see, Mortal like just drags on the system resources, and it like breaks videos and stuff. It's like annoying. I think I'll probably get off this game now because it's like been good and I've been making a lot of progress on it, but it's a slow grind each day. If you want to make it solo, anyways, if you want to make it solo, it's a slow grind each day, and on top of that, the training is just slow, and I don't mind that actually, but it's definitely like an experience that I can't do all day. It's kind of like, you know, it is its own special niche thing. I definitely don't like how much it affects my frame rate, and so I'm going to switch over to Borderlands 3 because it affects all my other games so badly that, yeah. Yeah, minute Mortal closes, my frames just like immediately return. And suddenly like I can turn my camera in FFXI without chug and all this other stuff, because Mortal is not optimized. It's not really optimized. I think they need a lot more work. So now I'm looking for that ice elemental. There you are. I'm just gonna sick my pet and see how this goes. Well, I mean, I don't know. I have a TP move, but I can just go do that real quick. It doesn't matter. And I can just go over here. Oops.
For you. Well, the thing is, you want the game is easily like set up here in categories basically, and you have like ecology, which is like, you know, the monsters in the world. Effect, that means D gives you only 1 point. Now I'm just sluggishly killing them just to show it off, but that's basically how you do it. So that's what I would suggest you do. Now, if you don't want to do this, it's too tiring, it's too much, just don't. But this is just a suggestion, because a lot of people have to gain in the end. Like, it's 25% is a lot. Like, it's pretty good. And if you can do it early, it's better than just coming with a fully geared character later on and fighting wolves that you one-shot at level 5, you know? It's kind of annoying and boring then. Also, Black Spirit is just gonna give you inventory slots as you go. So if you're looking at your inventory right now and you're like, holy shit, I only have a few slots. Well, Black Spirit is gonna give you close to like 80, maybe 90. It also highlights in orange everything that you need to kill.
watched that one. No.
Autopilot engaged. Warping to station. Warp drive active. Approaching station. Docking request accepted. Autopilot disabled. Waypoint reached.
Talk to this NPC. Talk to that NPC. It's so goddamn boring. I got enough of that from Fallout, you know. Talk to Lilith, but you're not giving me the right map reading or whatever. Oh, yeah, okay. Upstairs, I guess. Wait, am I dying? No. I hate this place, Sanctuary. It's so confusing and dumb. What the hell? Oops. Did I miss? I missed. God damn it. I like the backgrounds and settings and stuff. I think it's really cool. Seven health. Oh my god, I'm constantly full. Are they all whites? Yeah, they're all whites, huh? Wow. Oh well. City. I've never been there before. Okay. Wait, what? No, I don't want you to come back. No, I want you to fight. Kill this thing. Okay, Miasmo, Sonoma to Lido into Ronnie's Ice Palace, and then we leave ship and get in a Corvette, and then we take a look at personal assets left in Leo, which is 2 miasmas. So we go over there. I am getting tired. It has been a long day. Yeah, we're at 10 hours right now, and I'm not sure how much longer I can go. Okay, getting all this done took a long time, but I mean, I'm gonna get it done. I'm almost done. I'm almost done and ready. Filler. What? You are skipping the green one. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yes, you. What do you mean? Five more. Oh, I have to unlock. Oh, I see. Okay. This game's gonna be so good when I can update the difficulty level. I was carrying around this SMG, but I guess not anymore. Wow. That is such a strong buff. You glitched or something there. Whatever. Am I out of range? I am out of range, that's why. I'm not out of range. Whatever, just kill him. I don't want to get bombed by him, I know that much. So. Right around the corner, or no, I mean, yeah, yeah. Look at I think there's like a crew challenge north, and then. Oh, this corporate game is kind of getting to me. It's like, it's like fun, but it's got problems. Oh, that's way better. Never mind. Skippy's way better. Oh, cool. I love this gun. It takes a while to actually blow it all up, but yeah. Oh, I love this gun. I didn't know how good it was. Ammo goes quick, but... I should reinstall Remnant 2. I liked Remnant 2, but it like... I don't think I was playing in the right settings, but I think I can probably put it in the right settings now. Get a really good game out of that. Maybe I will go do that right now. I'll probably go install Remnant 2 on my D drive. Remnant 2, Remnant 2. I was disappointed by Remnant 2 at first, but now I'm starting to maybe think it might be a lot better. Don't know if I have the room on D. I do. Yep, install to D. Accept. And, yep, I'm being slept, and I'm full slept for a long time. Why am I being slept? Okay, why are you aggro to me? It's goddamn dumb. Oh my god. I kill these things quick now. I love my Kraken Club. Whack, 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 whack. Whack, 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 whack. Slam! Whack, 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 slam! Whack, 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 slam! It's so funny. Such a great little weapon. Whack, 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 slam! It's very Japanese, and it's like it's kind of like a Japanese fighter. It's sort of in like in a or almost Kung. I'm sorry, it's almost Chinese. It's almost Kung Fu in its execution. It's like whack 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 whack. Like it's just like full blown open handed like punch, you know, like fucking like devil from Kazuya from Tekken or whatever. Whack, just puts a whole fucking thing into it. I love her. She does the same thing. She's like whack 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 slam. It's gonna be so good when I get Hexa Strike. Oh my god. I have to unlock Hexa Strike, and that's going to be so annoying. Whatever. Wish those Lost Souls would drop something good, but they don't. Alright, the Tiger and I are kind of fucked up here, so we're just going to sit down now. Yeah, give me Remnant 2 really quickly, too. Yeah, like, I'll play Remnant 2 tonight. I'll put it in my rotation. I like Remnant 2. Just need to get the settings to it right. That game plays remarkably similar to this game, kind of. It's kind of funny, but it's a lot more procedurally generated, which I like. I like procedurally generated. I think it's good. That overworld was actually dauntingly huge, and it has a cool system to it. All the classes were kind of cool. I did like it. The combat's flashy and beautiful. I liked Remnant 2. I just didn't spend enough time with it because it was so corporate, kind of. And then I felt like kind of bad when, like, 3 months later, they were like, "Oh yeah, it's on Games Pass now." And we're like, "Really, man? Like, man, I spent $60 on this new. What the fuck?" So where am I now? Oh yeah, I got autopilot, right?
Autopilot engaged.
Yeah, go. And then you are currently at Ainsan.
Warping to station.
Good.
Warp drive
Or I'm in an
active.
Ibis, but now I get the last ship, which is this Iteron Mark V. Then we undock. And yeah, and now I'm like pretty much done with this corporation. I can pretty much leave this corporation now, I think. We're just gonna double check, peruse the assets and make sure I don't have anything locked up in any of their stations or anything, but I don't think I do. Not I don't believe so.
Approaching station.
Yep. So, oh no, in Leo, no, I need you to update this. Yeah, there you go. In Ainsan, in Leo, I have a diplomatic shuttle I still have to go get, but that's all right. That's the next step, and then I'm done with that. And then we'll commence the move. Yeah, I don't have anything else in anything of theirs. Oh, it's an asset safety wrap. Oh, wow. Wait, in Munery I have a asset safety wrap. I guess I do, huh? In Blood Horizon, in Munery, huh? Okay, Moon 9 and Ducia. Oh, so okay, maybe I should actually go to that right now, but I'm gonna go drop first. So, yeah, take me back to Tyrannies.
Docking request accepted.
Ah, good. Beautiful.
Autopilot disabled. Waypoint reached.
Oh. Oh, check on Quinn, which is that way. Oops. I like the procedural nature of Requiem. It felt like it had a lot of replayability to me in terms of how the enemies were. But I also don't know. I don't know. Like it's a good game, but it's like I don't know. It's got its problems. It's definitely corporate and AAA-ness in a really uncomfortable way. Triangles down below me or something. I don't know how to reach this. Where is this? Oh, north? Okay. I wish there was pet sounds and I wish you could change them. Okay, all of that I want back into the item hanger. Oh my god, look at all of it. Okay, maybe I could just sell all of it, huh? Let's stack all, and let's select all. And I want you to... You can't repackage all that stuff? Okay, well... Can we sell it? Yeah, can I sell like all of it so I don't have to move it? Oh no, Tyranny, yeah. Well, I could sell all of it probably, but I don't know. I will take the most valuable stuff out of here, right? But yeah, which is definitely that stuff, and good. And then yeah, and then all the rest of this, and that's where we hit my limit. And all the rest of this random crap is just like, you know, it's good, but it's not really needed, almost any of it. I wouldn't mind the ubiquitous mining. Can I get that? Yeah. And then, yeah, all the rest of the stuff, yeah. I'll come back. I'll have to come back. And when I do, I'll come back in the Mark V. I'll just come back and do another trip with the Mark V. It's fine. So this thing now has 110 million worth of stuff right here. That's good. So, and it's full. Yeah, it's full-blown full, so, yep. And, yeah. One of the nice things about Remnant 2 is it is a modern game. It just came out this year. It's, like, very modern. Unlike this. Damn it. I don't know where this is and you're driving me crazy. Why do you stupid ass developers do this stupid ass shit? What, I mean, where do you want me to go? You say go downstairs. There is no downstairs. Why do you design like this? Like, Jesus Christ, man, like, where the fuck do I go? It's not evident at all. I can't read your fucking idiot mind, and I can't pass the retard check. Because I can't read your retard mind. So, I mean, like, where do you want me to go? Come on, man. Oh, my God. That was what it was. So dumb. I like actually producing money instead of making money, or instead of spending money. Hey, there's my dinner. Nice. Hello? Okay, guys, I have to take a small 5-minute break as my family made burgers, and rather than me have to make dinner tonight, they just included me. So I have to go get burger. Oh, I don't have my pet with me for some reason, and now you're gonna hurt me really bad, and you put a dot on me, and it's gonna last a really long time. So I can't heal, which is so annoying. Okay, I have to take a small 5-minute break here. Gonna pause everything and make sure I'm safe and inside. Am I inside? Yeah, I'm inside, right? Yeah, I'm inside. So, now I am all right with this neighborhood. We're just gonna recheck one last time. Yeah, we're done with this. Oh no, I have a diplomatic shuttle and a miasma in Leo. I guess I missed. So that's okay. So we'll set destination, and we will board my Corvette. Yes, and I will go get. What else? So, I've got to do the same. I've got to get into a Corvette and then look at my personal assets and go back for my council diplomatic shuttle here. And let's go. Undock, and we should be good.
Autopilot engaged.
Okay, so the pet should be killing the elemental now.
Warping to Stargate. Warp drive active.
Yes, and I don't have a dot on me. So I can sit. Yeah. Yeah, the pet kills the elemental really well now. I don't even have to get involved. I can just sick the pet. The pet will kill the elemental most times. Nice. Okay, I'm gonna go get my dinner, and I'm going to pause this video. Oh, something aggroed me. What was it? Oh my god. Why did you aggro me? Why did you poison me? You're so annoying. I'm trying to stand up and go do stuff. Merc. Free dinner. I gotta go get it. Well, it's not free, but I mean, dinner I didn't have to work for. You know, reminds me of the fishing pole in Lotro. They're like, fishing. The only way a hobbit can get dinner, the only way a hobbit can snooze all day and still get dinner.
Autopilot jumping.
Die, elemental. Don't hurt me, no.
Warping to station. Warp drive active.
Okay, guys, gotta pause the video for just 5 minutes, and I will be AFK just 5 minutes. I'll leave a message here so people know what's going on. Oops, I need the pet to heal. I will go and watch this XP party while I rest. So there's something on the screen.
Approaching station.
And yes, and I will be right back. Just 5 minutes. I'm gonna pause the video. Okay, let's get back to work. Sorry about that, guys. Had to pause and eat a burger and some caramelized onions.
Give the Raspberry Pi its own IP address. Now, to understand, because we're installing the ad blocking system, you need to make sure the Raspberry Pi has a static IP address. Now, this step depends on which router that you have. Some of the options are a little different depending on which brand you're using. Now, I have an Asus router over here, the GTAX 1100, and generally the idea is the same. You want to go to the LAN settings on your router, you want to find out where the DHCP server is, and you want to go all the way down and assign a manual IP address. So generally, you should be able to open a drop-down menu and find a Raspberry Pi, right? So by clicking on this, you can give it a static IP address. So in this situation, I gave it 192.168.50.68. Now, no matter what I do, every time I connect this device to this router, it will always give it this specific IP address versus randomly assigning one that can ruin this entire ad blocking, ad filtering system that we have. Now, at this moment in time, we're going to connect into our actual Raspberry Pi and install the Pi-hole software. So using any terminal, and you don't need to use like Linux for this. If you're on Microsoft, you can use the Windows terminal, PowerShell, whatever. Macs, you can use a terminal. Linux, you can use a terminal. So the way that this works is most terminals will have something known as SSH, which allows you to tunnel in to any of these devices. Now, to understand, I want you to connect your Raspberry Pi with an Ethernet cord. Don't be using any Wi-Fi bullshit. That's going to make sure all of the speeds related to this process are bad. Ethernet over everything. Connect it, dedicated, all right? It literally takes an extra 5 seconds of effort, okay? And a cable. That's it. So anyways, in this situation, you want to type in SSH, and my Raspberry Pi's login is Honest, last name, and then you want to do add for, you know, what IP you're going with. And because our IP is 192.168.50.68, as soon as we enter, it'll ask you for a password. So whatever password you use to set up your Raspberry Pi, enter that in, and boys, we are connected. It says, I am connected to my Raspberry Pi. So at this moment in time, it's a matter of...
I love this. I can kill the ads for my parents, and I think I probably will.
Pi-hole. So if you go to piehole.net, which is their website, they'll actually give you an installation. So click this install button, and it'll guide you through, again, the one-step automated install. So all you have to do is highlight all of this, copy that, and put it into your actual terminal. Once you hit enter, it'll go through, run a few checks, and then it'll start installing that installer. And then you can start proceeding with the actual situation. So again, it'll take a couple minutes depending on how updated your system is, but you're going to just be fine, okay? It'll go through all of these necessary steps, and you're just gonna wait until it actually gives you the setup guide. So once you get over here, you'll see this blue screen. This installer will transform your device into a network-wide ad blocker. Oh boy! All right, let's get this started, all right? So first things first, you hit OK. It'll ask you, hey man, this is a free project, so if you got some money, donate it, all right? Feel free. You know, you don't have to worry. Do it if you want at your own risk. So again, static IP needed. The Pi-hole is a server, so it needs a static IP. We already gave it a static IP, buckos, so all we have to do is basically hit continue. So here it'll ask you which interface do you want. Because we're using the Ethernet, we're not using wireless LAN, make sure it's set to ETH0. So hit enter, and it's going to ask you, what is my upstream DNS provider? Now, you can go with Quad9, you can go with Google, you can go with whatever, but just to make it easier for us right now, we're going to pick Cloudflare, okay? That's a pretty default option right there. And of course, it's going to rely on third-party lists in order to block advertisements. So again, just hit yes and continue going. And then it's going to ask you, do you want the admin web interface if you want to configure? Obviously, we need yes. A web server is required. Do you want to install the actual modules? Hit yes. Now, again, it's going to ask you if you want to enable query logging. So this is like if you're somebody that really wants to make sure you have no logs enabled, hit no. But just for, again, general sanity's sake, we're going to hit yes to this. So it's going to say select a privacy mode for FTL. So you got show everything, hide domains and clients, and anonymous mode. So again, just for the sake of this tutorial, we're going to go with show everything. So at this moment in time, it's going to go through an extra few set of steps and install the Pi-hole stuff. And it's basically going through the hardest job for you. And what comes next will be a little easier to manage. I promise you, you do not have to use this scary looking terminal for too long, okay? So over here, it's gonna ask you, configure your devices to use the Pi-hole as their DNS server. So again, this is going to be your IP for your Raspberry Pi that we dynamically set, 192.168.50.68. And of course, you wanna make sure that the DNS server for devices that you're using are connected to the Pi-hole. So there is a bit of user maintenance required to get to it. So it's going to give you a password here, _NXV1_U. So what you want to do is you want to open up a text editor, grab a piece of paper, write this down somewhere. Okay, this is going to be your actual password, and obviously you can change this, but for now that's what's generated. So write that down and keep it somewhere. So this moment in time, 192.168.50.68/admin. And as you enter it, you'll see this cool webpage interface right here. So that password you literally just copied and saved, put that in there, and log in. And this is what your actual interface looks like. So again, a lot simpler than the terminal that we were looking at. So again, first things first, let's change some passwords around on the web interface. Now, before you get rid of that terminal and close it out, if you want to change the password, go to sudo pi-hole, type it in the terminal, -a-p. All right, so again, hit enter. It's going to tell you enter a new password. So enter whatever password you want, confirm it, just add the extra safety. And once that password is set, you can finally close that terminal. So now if you go to the admin panel over here, you can just basically log out and just confirm it for yourself. So enter in the password, you're now connected into your Pi-hole. So right now, Pi-hole isn't actually, it's not running. We're not using it at the moment. So first things first, you want to actually look at a few settings over here. So here's your logs, your query logs, long-term data. So if you want to look at things like graphics, for instance, you can. You've got your groups, you've got devices, you've got domains, and of course, you've got add lists. So right now there's one, but if you want to add more lists, like block lists, add lists, you absolutely can. If you want to add specific URLs, you specifically can go for that, okay? So first things first, you want to add some extra add lists to make sure that this is more efficient than what you have as a default. So right here is a website, and this is one of many, firebog.net, which is the big block list collection. So of course they say the internet is full of unsavory content, advertisers wanting to sell you stuff you don't need, trackers extracting and selling your data as if it was oil. So what this is an easy list where you can just add links to effectively, protect your system and add more efficient block lists. So for instance, suspicious lists, you've got advertising lists, you've got tracking, malicious, so on and so forth. So in order to add one of these, we're going to go over here and click any of these links. So these are just text files. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab one of these, we're going to hit copy, and inside the address list, we're going to hit paste, and we're going to add that in. So of course, it successfully adds an add list over here, and all you basically can see is when you open some of these lists up, you can see that it's blocking a whole chunk of actual advertisements right over here. So once that's done, you want to go to your ad list, and where it says update your gravity list, click this little link, hit update, and it's going to just basically download those lists and integrate them into your system. So now when you go to dashboard, you'll start to notice the number on the domains block is just piling on. Now, if for any reason you want to disable tracking briefly, there are options to the left-hand side to disable by 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 5 minutes, or indefinitely. So just remember this is where it's at. Now, let's actually connect a device to the Pi-hole. So now that Pi-hole is up and running, let's actually connect our devices and get things going. Now, if you're using something like Windows 11, go to your network and internet settings, go to change adapter properties, and start editing your IP settings. Now, inside your IP settings, you're going to find a preferred DNS, and over here you're going to manually configure those DNS settings. So our preferred DNS is the Pi-hole IP 192.168.50.68, and then the alternate's going to be anything of your choosing. I picked quad 9, which is 9.9.9.9, but you can go with whatever you want. Now, where you put your what you put for your DNS is the IP address of your actual Pi-hole, so 192.168.50.68 in our example. Now, if you're like, well, Muto, fuck me, do I have to do this for every goddamn device? No, that would be a serious hemorrhoid in your ass, okay? That wouldn't be fun now, would it? So what you can do is you can go into the DHCP settings of your router, and each of these are individual, so you might want to just Google specifically how to do it. So again, going back to the router, if you remember where...
I have no problem with doing all of this. What I do have a problem with is causing some issue that you're not aware of that you caused, and then being unable to diagnose it and having some problem that had nothing to do, that never would have been caused if you just hadn't done anything. And that's why I won't do this, which is annoying. Because I feel like I can confidently do all of this, no problem. But if something goes wrong, it would be catastrophic. The Diddy files. Okay.
The extremely powerful executive Sean Diddy Combs has had an ominous presence in the music industry for the past 30 years. From his suspicious involvement in the demise of Tupac and Biggie, his secretive ritualistic parties in the backrooms, as well as numerous accidental confessions, has made the public pre-decide that he is guilty of all accusations against him. Not only have multiple women filed formal lawsuits alleging him of violent sexual assault and humiliation, but now the federal government raided his home as they investigate his involvement in a global sex trafficking operation. Technically, at the moment, he is not being charged of any crime, but any day now, Diddy could feel the wrath of the American justice system. Today, we are going to unearth the secrets he never wanted the world to know, with the goal of determining one thing: did he do it or not? It's first very important to understand Diddy's potential involvement in the murders of Tupac and Biggie, because if you believe those allegations to be true, everything that happens afterwards makes total sense. In the mid-90s, Diddy, also known as Sean Puffy Combs, was in the middle of the infamous East Coast vs. West Coast hip-hop rivalry. It all began with East Coast rapper and Bad Boy Records signee, the Notorious B.I.G., versus his enemy, West Coast rapper and Death Row Records signee, Tupac Shakur, and it ended with both of them being assassinated via drive-by shootings. Biggie's murder remains unsolved to this day, but in 2023 we learned that Keefe D was the shot caller for the group of individuals that killed Tupac. Although we do not know the specific details as to why these two rap legends were killed, through all the theories, key information, and first-hand recollections from friends and witnesses of both murders indicate that Sean Combs had involvement in both murders. Biggie and Tupac were friendly and actually respected each other at first. Tupac had begun rapping in 1991 and within 2 years already had earned a platinum album. Biggie was a crack dealer who recorded freestyles for fun, until someone sent his tapes to Puffy, who signed him to Bad Boy Records for $25,000. Puffy was also able to use his status in the music industry to connect Big and Pac. Pac became a mentor to Biggie. He once even asked him to be his manager.
I was there, nigga. I trained the nigga. He used to be under me like my lieutenant. The nigga I used to come to New York. I used to do shows and let the nigga come on before I did Keep Your Head Up and Get Around. Because nobody knew the nigga in New York. And I used to tell the nigga, yo, if you want to make your money, you gotta rap for the bitches. Do not rap for the niggas. I told the nigga, don't rap for the niggas. Rap for the bitches. The bitches will buy your records and the niggas want what the bitches want. So all of a sudden he changed from being listen to party and bullshit. Listen to his style. He changed from that to Big Pop.
Pac believes that Biggie used him as a blueprint, changed his whole style, persona, and music to be more aligned with Tupac. Many people speculated that Diddy also had a slight obsession with Tupac. He started dripping himself in Versace after Tupac did it first. He also got romantically involved in women after Tupac had ran through them first, like Sarah Chapman, who ran around with Tupac in the 90s and is now the mother of one of Diddy's children. Pac's claims aged like fine wine when recently the internet figured out that Biggie's most successful hit, Juicy, was actually stolen by a Mississippi-based artist called Notorious B1, who released a song called Big Daddy a year before Juicy that sounds exactly the same. Is it a coincidence that Notorious B1 and Notorious B.I.G. are very similar, and this song is called Big Daddy, and Biggie started...
So, I've never heard this before. This is new to me.
Going by Big...
I never really liked Notorious B.I.G. except for a couple of songs, right? I was entirely a Tupac fan, and it was a whole beef between them. And I was a Tupac nut, and I really didn't like Biggie for a long time. And now I see this, and I see why. Hurry up, you. Like, what? I mean, what is it that you're doing? You're so bad at this. Let's go.
Notorious B1, who released a song called Big Daddy a year...
Biter. They're all biters. Like, that whole crew, Bad Boy Records, they were all biters. They represent what's wrong with the fucking industry.
Before Juicy...
Tupac knew it, too. And the West Coast was like, come out here and make some real money.
That sounds exactly the same.
I've always felt the same about the West Coast, too. West Coast has been good to me. I'm on the West Coast right now. I love the West Coast.
Is it a coincidence?
That, yeah, and that's then Biggie just ripped off the song and like, so what happened to this guy? This guy had to have heard the radio. Mississippi Doughboys, Mississippi Doug's Boys, Mississippi Doug's Boys, or Mississippi Doughboy. I think it's supposed to be an H. Yeah, it's Mississippi Doughboys because they're like fat crack dealers from the ghetto.
That Notorious B1 and Notorious B.I.G. are very similar, and this song is called Big Daddy, and Biggie started going by Big Papa, but many people believe this was the mastermind of Diddy, as he was a music industry expert who knew how to scout talent and assess a hit song before anyone else heard it. They believe Puffy instructed his artist to steal from Notorious B1, and Biggie trusted his boss and mentor. Pac and Big's rivalry began as a music-based competition, who had more music sales, who had the better fashion, media representation, and cultural influence. But due to gangster rap creeping into the mainstream and the two being surrounded by legitimate gangsters, tensions escalated to life-threatening conflict. In November 1994, Tupac was on his way to record some music at Quad Studios in New York City. Coincidentally, Biggie was there recording with Junior Mafia, which was a group of 4 friends that Big knew since their childhood. Puffy was there too, since Big was his artist, and anything that Big writes or records is technically owned by the Bad Boy label. Allegedly, a man by the name of Jimmy Henchman, who is now serving life in prison, was planning a robbery on Tupac since Pac owed him some money. Many speculate that Jimmy told Puffy what was about to happen, but Puffy did not try to stop it. When Pac was outside the studio, he looked up and realized rapper Lil Cease, who is best friends with Biggie, was yelling at him from above. He was excited to see him because they were friends. He told him he was going to go downstairs and meet him in the lobby. Pac got to the lobby downstairs when some men attempted to rob him at gunpoint, which quickly led to conflict and Pac being shot 5 times.
In the middle of that trial, Shakur was gunned down, shot 5 times in what he claimed was a murder attempt and police called a robbery.
As the police did their investigation, you can see Diddy looking around scanning the area with his head down. Keep in mind that after Tupac was shot, he got in the elevator and went upstairs where dozens of Bad Boy affiliates were located. Pac was interviewed by Vibe magazine detailing the night he was shot and the energy of the people around him while he was bleeding out. Because Andre Harrell was there, Puffy was there, Biggie, nobody approached me. I noticed that nobody would look at me. Andre Harrell wouldn't look at me. I had been going to dinner with him the last few days. Puffy was standing back too. I knew Puffy. He knew how much stuff I had done for Biggie before he came out. Based on Tupac's words here, fans in the media believe that he was hinting that Biggie and Puffy might be behind the attack, which bothered Big and Puff since publicly at this point they were still friends.
Tupac article had me pissed off, you know what I'm saying? And the rumors are spreading on some tip like we set him up, you know what I'm saying? And that's crazy. It's just ridiculous, you know what I'm saying? But I also understand that if you was to get shot 5 times, mind is just completely spinning, you know what I'm saying? You're real confused about your situation, so it'll cause you to say things that you really don't mean.
To make things worse, a few months later, Pac was found guilty of sexual assault and would end up serving 9 months in prison. This gave him tons of time to think and reevaluate his life. To add insult to injury, Biggie released his iconic cutthroat track called Hushacha, which felt like an obvious diss towards Tupac. But technically, it was recorded before Pac got shot, but it was marketed and released months after the incident. Regardless, the media developed the narrative that Big and Puffy set up the shooting and now released a diss record bragging about their hit. And Puff's full intentions were to stir up drama, as can be confirmed by the former president of Bad Boy Records.
Biggie might not have thought that when he wrote the lyrics that was going to be used for that, but the way it was marketed by the company and released in the succession of things that were going on that we were dealing with on all the levels that we were dealing, that record did what it was supposed to do. And that's a perfect example of how my former business partner works and thinks.
Pac was sitting in jail already thinking that they set him up, and the release of this song was all the proof he needed. But this wasn't the only shooting that Puffy was involved in. It's also important to know that Tupac signed to Death Row Records while in prison after the label owner Suge Knight promised to use his money to get Pac released. As they were in the process of getting Pac out, Suge Knight and his best friend Jake Robles, aka Big Jake, were at the Platinum nightclub in Atlanta. Suge confronted Puffy at the club and was choking him. Puffy's bodyguard, Anthony Wolf Jones, steps in to defend him, and then things got out of hand. Next thing you know, shots are being fired and Suge's friend Big Jake was shot and killed. Whether or not Wolf shot Jake has never been confirmed, but Suge was holding Puffy responsible for the attack, which was enough to now ignite a feud between the two executives. Quick sidebar, recently fans have noticed that Puffy's firstborn biological son Justin Combs looks a lot like Wolf. How does your son look more like your best friend than you? Anyways, in October 1995, Tupac got out of prison and he wanted war.
I have no fear. I have only ambition, and I want mine, and I will do anything to protect and feed my family. And these niggas represent a threat.
Pac got out and immediately started taunting and scheming on Bad Boy Records as much as possible. In the days after his release from prison, he jumped into the studio to record his next album, All Eyes on Me, and he talked about the anticipated tracks.
2 of America's Most Wanted with me and Snoop. That's gonna be a humdinger, right? Shorty Wanna Be a Thug. That's gonna be a big one. And,
I really love that song. Yep. It's gonna be a big one. Yeah. It wasn't gonna be a big one. It was just a really good song, but it wasn't ever gonna be on the radio. It's far too good. How did I go the wrong way here? That doesn't make sense. I went north, damn it. Nice. Oh yeah, that's a good SMG, yeah. I don't really like the sniper rifles, and I don't really feel that they're necessary either. So I'm gonna switch out. I'm gonna switch out, yeah, SMG for sniper. Yeah, and we'll put on a start pulsar in for. This is good.
Call you bitch with Faith, that's gonna be a big one.
He mentions Faith, aka Faith Evans, who was married to Biggie for over a year at this point. Imagine your wife jumps in the studio with your biggest enemy 1 week after he gets out of jail. Pac was also seen with Faith Evans at Whitney Houston's album release party. The rumor is that Biggie cheated on Faith and that she was trying to get back at him by cheating with Pac. Pac also allegedly started messing around with Mary J. Blige, who was a close friend and business partner with Puffy. Then Death Row Records held a Christmas party in 1995 where a close friend of Puffy, Mark Anthony Bell, was mercilessly beaten and forced to drink urine after refusing to give Suge Puffy's mother's address. Tupac and Death Row did not let off the gas. At the 1996 Soul Train Awards, Biggie won the award for Song of the Year, and Tupac won Best Rap Album of the Year. After Big got his award, he took some pictures backstage and then exited the venue because he had to go to the airport to catch a flight. And that's when Pac and Suge pulled up in a Hummer, taunting them.
While we was waiting for the car to pull up, Suge and Tupac pulled up in the Hummer. And, Tupac was really loud, yelling the west side, cursing, yelling a bunch of stuff. And Suge came from the other side and was like trying to actually walk up to us saying he just wanted to talk to Big, like. And talk, but of course everybody got in front. You know, it was a little yelling and arguing for a minute, but police and everybody got in front, kind of stopped everything.
Despite Biggie's gangster lyrics, he was really a chill dude who didn't want to beef with Pac. Remember, he looked up to him. He always thought they were friends, but as we are speculating, he seemed to be a pawn in a much bigger operation.
He knows you sent somebody to shoot him that first time.
That boy was horrible.
Why would I do that?
Do you think he was just hyping a record, or you have no idea?
Tupac was a man on fire, a man who he believes was wrongfully convicted of a crime he didn't commit, was constantly being slandered by the media, and now feels was being disrespected by his biggest enemies, on top of being surrounded by real gangsters. He released a music video alongside Snoop Dogg called Two of America's Most Wanted, which featured a skit mocking Biggie and Puff.
Pop, please don't kill me. It was Buff's idea. Oh, man, I'm just a rapper, man. Please don't take me out the game.
Interesting that Tupac himself instructed the Biggie actor in the 90s to say it was Puff's idea, as if he knew the truth. Then Pac released one of the most abrasive and iconic diss tracks of all time, Hit 'Em Up. He starts off the song claiming he had sex with Biggie's wife and then directly calls Biggie, Puffy, and Junior Mafia all bitches, along with various other threats. The pressure was on Bad Boy. Pac was not going to stop, and Puffy couldn't take the heat. Biggie's bodyguard, Gene Deal, recalls when Puff reached his tipping point.
He said, I'm a businessman. I'm about making money, but something gotta change. I don't give a if Pac gotta die, Big gotta die, or Suge Knight go to jail. Something's gotta change.
Gene was taken back. He wondered if Puff realized that he just said he didn't care if his own artist died. At the same time, he still wanted to play gangster games. As we all know, these gangster games only lead to two outcomes: death or jail, and Tupac would meet his fate on September 13th, 1996. Pac and the Death Row Squad were attending the Bruce Seldon vs. Mike Tyson boxing match in Las Vegas. Hyped up from the testosterone and the energy of the fight, Pac wanted some action. A Death Row associate pointed out Orlando Anderson to Pac, who was a Southside Crip gang member, a rival to the Pyru Blood set that was affiliated with Death Row Records. Pac went up to Orlando and punched him in the face. Then Death Row associates put a beating on the man. Later that night, Suge and Tupac were driving down East Flamingo Road to Club 662, when suddenly a white Cadillac pulled up beside them at a red light and opened fire on Tupac. He was hit 4 times, with the fatal shot piercing his lung. Just last year, Las Vegas police arrested a man called Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, who was a shot caller for the group of individuals that committed this crime, and he orchestrated the plan that was carried out. Ironically, Keefe D. has been confessing his involvement publicly on the internet for years. In 2008, he confessed that his nephew, Orlando Anderson, the man that Tupac punched earlier that night, was the one who actually pulled the trigger.
Keefe D has now identified his own nephew as the murderer of Tupac Shakur.
Bolstering Keefe D's claim was an informant in 1997 who told investigators that Puffy had hired the Southside Crips to kill both Suge and Tupac, and that the Crip who was jumped at the MGM was in the group that had done the hit. This was exactly the same story that Keefe D told us a decade later.
Keefe also stated that Puffy offered them $1 million to kill Suge and Tupac.
We wanted $1 million. Yeah, he said, come on downstairs and talk to me.
He tells you seriously, man, I need to get rid of these guys. I mean, he's looking at you in the eyes and he's like scared.
Yeah.
You tell him we'll do it for $1 million, and he's like, okay, I'll do it for $1 million.
Yeah.
He agrees. You shake on it or something like that.
It's nothing.
Who brought up the amount of $1 million?
He did.
Puffy did?
Yeah.
Okay. Was it you?
No, it wasn't me. I'll shit. $1 million out there. Yeah. Hey,
When Diddy was asked about this confession, this was his response.
It was this documentary that claimed, which we know wasn't true.
Yeah, check this out. We don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother. So we're not even going to even go there, with all due respect, but I appreciate you as a journalist asking. Thank you.
As you can imagine, Death Row was likely seeking retaliation for the murder of Tupac. Everyone at Bad Boy Records knew they were not safe, but they were especially not safe in Southern California. An LA kingpin called Gene Deal, Diddy's bodyguard, and warned him that there was a hit placed on Biggie in LA.
This somebody did 26 years in the federal jail as a kingpin, brother. He called me to save Biggs' them life. Tell them niggas not to go nowhere. It's a hit on them. You get this information from a kingpin, brother. Chaz Williams.
Despite knowing all this information, in February of 1997, they headed out to Los Angeles to promote Biggie's new album, Life After Death. Puffy also wanted to record some of his album, No Way Out, in LA. Lil Cease, Biggie's best friend, claims that Big wanted to be in LA.
If he say go, we going. If he stay, we staying. Big wanted to stay. I always tell people that, yo, why everybody always go, why y'all was there so long, or why you didn't tell him to go home? He's the boss. We're here because of him. And if he feel like it's no threat and he wants to be here, it's our job to stand down with him.
Biggie was not taunting the West Coast. He genuinely loved being in LA. He received a lot of love from fans, promoters, radio DJs, despite being surrounded by his enemies. Instead of claiming to be the victor of his beef with Tupac, Biggie wanted to use his life to inspire change and squash the East Coast versus West Coast beef. The truth is, over the years, Puffy and Biggie had made so many enemies that they didn't really know who was after them, but they overstayed their welcome in the City of Angels, and Big's demise came on March 9th, 1997. After presenting an award at the 1997 Soul Train Awards, the Bad Boy crew attended the after-party hosted by Vibe magazine at the Peterson Automotive Museum. Biggie left the party riding in the front passenger seat of a Chevrolet Suburban SUV with Puffy and other entourage members driving directly in front of them. As they stopped at the first red light, a dark-colored Chevrolet Impala pulled up alongside Biggie's SUV. An unknown assailant inside the Impala rolled down the window and fired multiple shots at Biggie's vehicle. Biggie was hit numerous times by gunfire, sustaining 4 gunshot wounds. One of the bullets struck him in the chest, causing severe internal injuries. He was immediately rushed to the Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, but pronounced dead at the hospital that night. So what happened? Well, Puffy's business partner said that they had used up all their budget on security, so they couldn't hire extra security for this evening. Keefe D was also at this party and offered protection. Puff told him to stand down. Puff decided to ride in the separate car located in front of Biggie's. Then he gave his security guard, Gene Deal, very strange instructions rather than maximizing Big's protection.
I tried to ride on the side of the car. Puff said, yo, Gene, what you doing? I said, I'm riding on the side of the car. I have my gun out. So he says to me, Gene, if you don't get in this car, you ain't gonna never work for Bad Boy ever again. I said, man, how the f you gonna try to tell me how to do my job? He said, Gene, we don't need that look. We don't need that look. Get in the car. As I go to get in the car, this motherfucker reached down and let his seat all the way back. So now I gotta put my legs sideways. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is you doing? I said, you ready? He said, you ready? I said, Kenny, run the next 3 lights. Kenny said, for what? I said, motherfucker, run the next 3 lights, Kenny, or I'm gonna drive. Kenny just took off.
The first car ran the red lights, but the car behind them did not follow. They decided to stop at the red light. Lil Cease had his head hanging out the window trying to holler at some girls. Then out of nowhere, the shooting took place. According to an FBI agent, Phil Carson, who worked on the case for several years, Suge Knight hired Amir Muhammad to carry out the execution. However, the agent says that the original target was not Biggie. They were targeting Sean Puffy Combs. Gene also believes this story is the truth.
I believe it was meant for Puff. The people that tried to kill Puff that night, for whatever reason, because we had some beef with some Muslim cats in Soul Train too. For whatever reason, the people that's trying to kill Puff, Big became a casualty of Puff shit.
When they rushed Big to the hospital, Lil Cease, who literally looked the shooter right in his face, gave a description to Gene. This is what he said.
Little Cease at the hospital, He said, a Muslim shot Big. And I said to Paul, with the blue suit, white shirt, blue bow tie, he said, Gene, how you know? I said, that motherfucker walked up to Puff car first.
Lil Cease's description of the man matches up to what the FBI uncovered. All in all, to say that Puffy set up the murders of Pac and Biggie is not exactly accurate, but the origins of the beef and the escalation of the beef can most definitely be traced back to Puffy. Also, he definitely knew that danger was looming for Pac and Biggie and did not even come close to trying to prevent both of their deaths, because at the end of the day, Puff was the one who benefited most from them dying. Think about it from the perspective of Puffy the businessman. Tupac dies, that makes Biggie the winner. Biggie looks like the ultimate gangster who warned his enemy with a diss track and then got him killed. That helps feed into the persona and sell more records. Plus, with Tupac dead, there is no more competition. Biggie's inspiration, his idol, the dude who he copied everything from, can no longer defend himself from the grave. Now, we know that Puff didn't exactly want Big to die, but he wasn't doing everything in his power to protect him. Additionally, Puff saw how much money Death Row was making after Tupac passed. Tupac Shakur sold 67,000 records in the week following his murder. 2 months after he died, they released The Don Killuminati, The 7-Day Theory, which Shakur recorded under the name Machiavelli. It debuted at #1 on the Billboard Hot 200 with first week sales of 664,000 and 250,000 the second week. To this day, Tupac has sold 75 million records, most of which came posthumously. Puffy owned all of Big's publishing. He allegedly purchased it from him for $200,000 years before he passed, which meant that everything he recorded or wrote for himself or other artists, Puff owned all of Biggie's percentage. Aside from the tens of millions of dollars in albums Big sold posthumously, he was also a prolific songwriter. He wrote all of Junior Mafia's album. He wrote for Lil' Kim. He wrote for Mace, Craig Mack. Also consider every single time he's been sampled over the years. Diddy has been making money off Biggie for more years than Biggie was alive. There were even suspicions that Biggie was aware of how much control Puffy had over his music and tried to sign over all his new music to his infant daughter, but passed away before he could get the business deals done. Biggie's mother, Valletta Wallace, has repeatedly expressed her distrust of Diddy. The truth is, Christopher accepted the illusion of a friend and mentor for about $25,000. That's the amount Puffy lured my son with. That was a lot of money for Christopher back then as a 19-year-old. She continued by saying that she was glad her son does not have to witness that the very people that he thought he could ride and die with wouldn't think twice about using his mother. She added, I am glad that he is not here to see how they have used his image and his name. Diddy was filthy rich, extremely powerful, and evidently unpredictable. Imagine how easy it was to leverage his power in the music industry and his personal life. If you said no to him, in theory, he could blackball you, extort you, or maybe something more permanent. So consider that when we begin analyzing his history of suspicious behavior.
Savage! I'm a savage! Oh! I'm a savage! Whatever I want, I'm going to get! Whatever I want, I have to get!
Let's start with the mysterious Puffy's Flavor Camp, where Diddy would mentor teenage musicians, like Usher, and give them a taste of the music industry. R&B sensation Usher was nothing short of a child prodigy. By age 13, he had already been discovered in Atlanta by L.A. Reid, and they sent him to New York City to record his debut album with Diddy. In 1994, Usher was just 14 years old, and he moved into Diddy's house to be a part of his Flavor Camp.
I mean, but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place. And I didn't necessarily understand it.
Usher has been very reluctant to discuss what happened when he lived with Diddy. In a 2004 article with Rolling Stone, he said, Puff introduced me to a totally different set of sex, specifically. Sex is so hot in the industry, man. While he was in New York, he lived at Puffy's house in Scarsdale. There was always girls around. You'd open a door and see somebody doing it, or several people in a room having an orgy. You never knew what was going to happen. Some people look at this as nothing short of grooming a young boy. One time, Diddy himself detailed what living with Usher was like.
Back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the frosted flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the frosted flakes because he used to always get them early. Now he's one of the richest stars in the world.
Yo, what the f did Puff just say?
Even though Kevin Hart was just joking, he really was the only one that seemed to question what Diddy was talking about. But Usher looks kind of uncomfortable. And you'll notice a theme where Diddy is very comfortable touching other people, embracing them, calling them pet names, and almost always the other person's body language screams they do not like it.
I can't handle it when people do this.
Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, daddy. You putting in that work.
But Usher is not the only artist in the industry who may have been a victim of Puffy's flavor camp. Justin Bieber was also mentored by Diddy early on in his career. Bieber, just after his 15th birthday, spent 48 hours with Diddy. Diddy gifted him a Lamborghini Gallardo and let the world know why him and the teenager were hanging out.
Where we hanging out and what we doing, we can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. I don't have legal guardianship with him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So, we gonna go full crazy.
Combs seems to be acting strange, but Justin seems alright. At the time, he was still a young star, glamorized by the industry. 1 year later, his demeanor towards Diddy was much different.
What's up, man? You good? I'm good. How are you? Young brother, everything's good? Selling out arenas and everything? Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, do all my, big, partners and whatnot. But you never really got my number, so.
Now, Combs is renowned for hosting lavish and star-studded parties that have become legendary in the entertainment industry. Diddy parties are famous for attracting A-list celebrities across all industries. I had the craziest mix, Combs told Oprah. Some of my boys from Harlem, Leonardo DiCaprio after he just finished Titanic, I had socialites there and relatives from down south. Diddy parties are typically hosted at luxury venues or his own private residences. The media were quick to anoint him the modern-day Gatsby, a title he embraced with open arms. "Have I read The Great Gatsby?" he said to a reporter in 2001. "I am the Great Gatsby." However, many people forget that one of Diddy's first parties ever resulted in the deaths of 9 attendees. In 1991, 22-year-old Sean Combs was the promoter of the Heavy D's and Puff Daddy celebrity charity basketball game at City College's Nat Holman Gymnasium, the infamous Puffy Party where a stampede occurred taking the lives of 9 people. Some of the hottest rappers in the game were set to attend: Boyz II Men, Phife Dawg, Big Daddy Kane, Jodeci, even LL Cool J and Mike Tyson showed up. The crazy part is that fans could see all of their favorite stars for just $12. The first problem occurred with the tickets. Keep in mind, this is in '91, so people had to go to physical locations like the Apollo Theater box office to buy tickets. Tickets were also sold at local shops like Boss Emporium, and even free tickets were given out on the radio by Funkmaster Flex. The facility could only hold 2,730 people, but they had no idea how many tickets they sold, as no proper system was set in place to keep track. Despite this, Gene Deal recalls Puffy requesting to cut security presence in half.
This particular day, Puff calls me the day before we supposed to do the party and say, "Yo, Gene, I don't need y'all to do the security outside. I got the FOIs to do it." So I said, "Man, I just told 18 guys." He said, "I just need 8. I just need 8.
To clarify, the FOIs are Fruit of Islam members. One witness to the event said, "You cannot have an event like this in Harlem without those Muslims," said Oscar Davis, 32, of the Bronx. "Forget the police. They can't do nothing. The people in Harlem respect the Muslims." It was blatantly obvious that more people were outside than could actually fit in the gym. Despite the overcrowding, tickets were still being sold at the door, said Mario Salvaggi, a city police patrol chief. Fans entered through 2 side exits and funneled down the stairs, through the doors into the gymnasium. But once LL Cool J and Mike Tyson showed up, all hell broke loose. Mobs of people started swarming from outside to rush inside, pushing people forward towards the glass doors. The glass doors eventually were shut and needed to be pulled towards the crowd to be opened. Guards tried to instruct people to fall back, but they wouldn't listen. The pressure became so great that the glass doors shattered and people fell through them. Outsiders began stampeding and stomping over bodies to get inside the facility, but the problem just got worse as they needed to go down the stairs into the gym. The doors at the bottom of the stairs also needed to be pulled open towards the crowd, not pushed into the gym. So hundreds of people were squeezed up against these doors in this tiny stairwell with no way to escape. Also notice that these doors don't have any windows. So inside of the gym, people were having a great time. From the outside, you can hear them partying, playing music, and rappers shouting over the microphone. They didn't even know that just on the other side of those doors were people people fighting for their lives. Eventually, they got the doors open. As much as 6 people were stacked on top of each other and began spilling onto the gym floor, finally relieving the pressure. People began trying to perform CPR on the ground. Someone announced over the microphone that 3 people died right there. This caused chaos, and the people inside the gym began trying to leave, stampeding back through the exact same stairwell where people were trapped in the first place. Police identified 5 men and 3 women dead at the scene, and 29 people in the first and shown that the pressure or stairs were peak and out of the gym with no way to escape. So the stair, but the problem just got outsiders. The pressure towards the forward towards broke loose doors in Control Chief, being obvious that more people were outside than could actually fit. Davis to
do it. So I said, man, I just told 18 guys. He said, I just need 8. I just need 8.
To clarify, the FOIs are Fruit of Islam members. One witness to the event said, "You cannot have an event like this in Harlem without those Muslims," said Oscar Davis, 32, of the Bronx. "Forget the police. They can't do nothing. The people in Harlem respect the Muslims." It was blatantly obvious that more people were outside than could actually fit in the gym. Despite the overcrowding, tickets were still being sold at the door, said Mario Salvaggi, a city police patrol chief. Fans entered through 2 side exits and funneled down the stairs, through the doors, into the gymnasium. But once LL Cool J and Mike Tyson showed up, all hell broke loose. Mobs of people started swarming from outside to rush inside, pushing people forward towards the glass doors. The glass doors eventually were shut and needed to be pulled towards the crowd to be opened. Guards tried to instruct people to fall back, but they wouldn't listen. The pressure became so great that the glass doors shattered, and people fell through them. Outsiders began stampeding and stomping over bodies to get inside the facility, but the problem just got worse as they needed to go down the stairs into the gym. The doors at the bottom of the stairs also needed to be pulled open towards the crowd, not pushed into the gym. So hundreds of people were squeezed up against these doors in this tiny stairwell with no way to escape. Also notice that these doors don't have any windows. So inside of the gym, people were having a great time. From the outside, you can hear them partying, playing music, and rappers shouting over the microphone. They didn't even know that just on the other side of those doors were people fighting for their lives. Eventually, they got the doors open. As much as 6 people were stacked on top of each other and began spilling onto the gym floor, finally relieving the pressure. People began trying to perform CPR on the ground. Someone announced over the microphone that 3 people died right there. This caused chaos, and the people inside the gym began trying to leave, stampeding back through the exact same stairwell where people were trapped in the first place. Police identified 5 men and 3 women dead at the scene, and 29 people were injured. A 9th victim died in the hospital days later. All of them died from asphyxiation. 8 families of the deceased settled wrongful death lawsuits against Mr. Combs in early 1998. Mr. Combs ended up paying around $600,000 of a total $3 million or so. Now, clearly, this wasn't all Diddy's fault. Legally, the courts claim the city 50% responsible and the promoters 50% responsible. Regardless, death and dark energy seemed to lure around Diddy since his earliest days. From there, he kinda stopped throwing parties for the public and started to keep them private. However, over the years, disturbing rumors have spread regarding what happens during Diddy's parties, ranging from group sex rituals to casting couches where newcomers would secure their future in various industries. The biggest rumor is that aspiring male talent would need to pleasure other powerful men to advance their careers, and apparently it's an open secret in the music industry, which is why Shannon Sharp erupted in laughter when Cat Williams said,
"Cause P. Diddy be wanting to party, and you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did. I did."
Now Diddy
you gotta tell him no. God damn it, stop moving. Stop moving. Oh my god, why did you design the mobs like this? It's so annoying. Oh my god, you're so annoying. Get on the mob. Get on this mob. You're so annoying. You haven't stopped moving in like 45 seconds. Come on now. Oh, I'm getting tired.
with 3 different women. He has had multiple high-profile relationships with the likes of Jennifer Lopez, Naomi Campbell, and Cassie, but you will notice that most of the party stories that circulate involve him being surrounded by men. Josh Ostrovsky, who goes by The Fat Jewish on social media, detailed his strange experience at a Diddy party.
I'm on ecstasy and I'm trying to find the bathroom and I can't find the bathroom and I get lost. So I open a door and in that room there are a bunch of men laying about and kind of like very like kind of leaning on each other, not like if you were spooning but facing each other and like leaning up on your elbow and talking.
Like it would almost be the prelude to an orgy.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh my god. Oh
Okay.
my god. It was so prelude to an orgy. And who is lounging in my direct eye line? Puff Daddy and Felix the House Cat, famed house music producer.
Yeah, no, I know who that is.
Basically spooning each other, and they're drinking a glass of Hennessy, and they're like sharing. They're like passing it back and forth,
And everyone's talking.
and everyone's just like talking.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I see them, I'm like,
All men though. There's not
all
one woman
men,
in this room.
all men, and
Yeah.
they're all 100%.
Shortly after Josh and Diddy locked eyes, he was kicked out. Josh, who is a gay man, immediately felt like he was in a room full of other gay men. But there was no real accusation nor damning evidence here. It could have just been a group of guys chilling.
Damning
so
evidence.
let's take a listen to rap.
It's about damning evidence. Is it damning to be gay? I mean, who cares?
Rapper Exhibit recounting his experience partying with Diddy.
Florida, we got invited to a Puffy party, the New Year's Eve party. He invited us to the house because we wanted to go to the club after. Puffy calls me outside. He's like, "Hey man, that girl you know about?" He's like, that's the devil, man. You know what I'm saying? I was like, "What you mean that's the devil?" So we get into the truck. He said, "Let's go to this club." You know, we sitting there bopping to the music, and then she pointed over the corner. It's 2 dudes kissing. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, "The f is this?" And then she pointed another direction. It's another dude over there, like butt ass naked dancing. You know what I'm saying? We take off, man.
Based on X's story, it seems like Diddy brought him to a gay club. Or maybe coincidentally, Exhibit just looked at the only 2 gay couples in a regular club. 50 Cent also recalls one of the first times he met Diddy.
We gotta kick it. This is Puff. Okay. He telling me we gotta kick it and shit. And he was like, "Yo, why don't we like go shopping or some shit?" I mean, like I pay for it. And I was like, "What the fuck this nigga just said?" Puff's a fruit pie. It's a fruit pie. Trust me.
Now, there's no doubt that homophobia has been prevalent in hip-hop forever. However, some people are just simply not gay, and Diddy's actions make them feel uncomfortable. Like rappers Fabulous and Jadakiss, who were pressed by Diddy on a podcast that got really awkward really quickly. He began by repeatedly calling the host Nori Daddy.
Yeah, I love this drink.
Where you put my bag?
I like when you like this, Daddy.
Yeah, where you put my bag?
Daddy, I like when you scrambling and scraping for
No,
shit.
I got
I
notes
like
and
that.
shit. I'll be practicing.
Then he proceeded to ask Fabulous why he didn't want to party with him.
See where I look
Did you
back
miss
on
me?
where I became.
Did you miss me though? For real, because
I
it
miss-
seems like a thing.
I miss
With his
partying
birthday
with
party,
Puff, man. I
Man,
miss
but I'm
partying
talking about
with
for your birthday.
Huh?
Why won't you party with me for your birthday, man?
Yeah, we partied for my birthday before. You came to my party.
No, but me and you ain't never really party. You know what I'm saying?
Jadakiss kept his head looking straight down for almost the entire interview, and you could tell Fabulous was very uneasy about Diddy's presence. When Diddy was confronted about it, this was his response.
Scrambling and scraping for shit.
That was you.
Scrambling.
What? You said, I like when you do it like that, Daddy. When you scrambling and scraping for shit.
Hey, man. Nah. I mean, I was
You don't
caught,
go back and look at that stuff and laugh?
I mean, it could be funny. I don't really be on it like that.
It seems like he genuinely has no idea why people thought what he said was weird.
He says things, he doesn't even know what he's saying is like fruity. You know what I'm saying? Like, he said something fabulous and he goes, "Yo, but me and you, we ain't party. Like, we need to party." What is he talking about? What is he talking
What
about?
he's talking about?
That's the kind of stuff that when people say that to me, I get a little uncomfortable.
But even with all the jokes, rumors, and secrets, nobody ever formally spoke out against Diddy and accused him of assault or abuse until 2019, when his ex-girlfriend Gina Huynh spoke publicly about what it's like to be in a relationship with him. Keep in mind that Gina was a side girlfriend for Diddy. The public didn't know about her because his public relationship was with Cassie Ventura, who he had been on and off dating for a decade.
He had caught me texting another man. We were in his closet and he like pushed me and I fell to the ground. He like stood over me. He avoided my face, but he like started punching me like on the side of my head, and I was just like covering my face. He like stomped on my stomach, like took the wind out of my breath. I couldn't breathe, pleading to him like, can you stop? And he like stopped for a little bit. He like grabbed my hair from the back and like just like punching the back of my head.
She also claims that she was pregnant with his child in 2014.
You mind telling me what happened with that second?
He was like, you're gonna get abortion. I was like, I don't know yet. And then he offered me $50,000 to get rid of it, but I turned it down because I just loved him.
Gina did not take the money, but she also did not have the child. 4 years later, she got pregnant again. Gina goes on to detail multiple other instances of emotional and physical abuse, but she never filed any formal charges. It wasn't all the way until November of 2023 that someone finally filed a formal lawsuit against Diddy. After that, the floodgates were opened, and Sean Combs' dark past crept out of the shadows. In the lawsuit, Cassie Ventura, his longtime girlfriend, accused Mr. Combs of repeated physical abuse over about a decade. As you can imagine, this lawsuit and these allegations went extremely viral. After all these years of shady rumors, weird behavior, and dark secrets, the entire world was prepared for Diddy's decline. Ventura and Combs met in 2005 when she was 19 and he was 37. He heard a song she was marketing called Me and You. He then contacted Ryan Leslie, who wrote Cassie's first single, and paired Bad Boy Records with Leslie's Next Selection imprint for the release of Cassie's debut album. In August 2006, Cassie released her self-titled album under Bad Boy Records. The pair formed a close relationship through working together for several months as Cassie became the face of Diddy's fashion label, Sean John. In 2007, Diddy separated from his longtime partner Kim Porter and started dating Cassie. Cassie alleged that Combs controlled nearly every aspect of her life, from her career to having access to her personal medical records. She claims he was frequently violent, physically abusing her multiple times a year, and that he often plied her with copious amounts of drugs, which made videos like this one seem awfully suspicious, where Cassie seems to be hiding from Diddy.
What you gotta say now? What you gotta say now? You ain't got shit to say. When you put your girl on the snap, baby, yo, babe. I mean, shit getting weird. Come on, baby, it's hot outside. You fucking wrapped up in that blanket. Let's go jog on the beach.
The court papers assert that others who worked with Mr. Combs helped him control Ms. Ventura, like suppressing her music if she did not obey his orders, or by helping to conceal his behavior. But it wasn't just mentally controlling. He also often got physically violent with her. In one incident in Los Angeles in 2009, the suit says that Mr. Combs became enraged when he saw Ms. Ventura talking to another talent agent, then pushed her into a car and kicked her repeatedly in the face, making her bleed. The suit also details Diddy's requests for Cassie to engage in his newest sexual fantasy called voyeurism. Combs forced Ventura to have sex with male sex workers in different cities, encounters she claimed he watched, pleasured himself to, and recorded. This is the allegation that likely opened up a federal investigation into him sex trafficking people. According to the suit, Mr. Combs called these encounters freak-offs, which involved costumes, like masquerade masks and lingerie. The lawsuit continues to detail some of the most horrific, embarrassing, and torturous behavior Diddy alleged.
Methamphetamine, I guarantee it. He was probably smoking meth the whole time. Maybe meth and X and stuff, all kinds of pills. Lots of pills and cocaine.
Lawyer Benjamin Braffman responded to the lawsuit on behalf of him. Mr. Combs vehemently denies these offensive and outrageous allegations. For the past 6 months, Mr. Combs has been subjected to Ms. Ventura's persistent demand of $30 million, under the threat of writing a damaging book about their relationship. Despite them denying everything, the lawsuit was settled just 24 hours after it was made public. We don't know how much, but due to the severity of the charges, the public assumed that Diddy coughed up tens of millions of dollars to keep her quiet. and while Combs likely believed that he escaped
Oh
Cassie's
my
lawsuit
God.
unscathed, a woman named Liza Gardner filed a lawsuit on November 23rd. Gardner claimed that she and a friend met Combs and singer-songwriter Aaron Hall at an MCA Records event in either 1990 or 1992. They returned to Hall's apartment for an after-party where she was offered more drinks and was coerced into having sex with Combs, who assaulted both her and her friend. In another complaint filed the same day, Joy Dickerson Neal alleged that in 1991, she reluctantly went on a date with Combs, who intentionally drugged and sexually assaulted her after their dinner. Diddy denied the allegations through a spokesperson who claimed that the women's claims were fabricated and accused them of exploiting the Adult Survivors Act. The New York's Adult Survivors Act temporarily eliminated the civil statute of limitations for survivors of sexual assault, which gave them the right to file a lawsuit against the perpetrator regardless of how long ago it occurred. Then another woman came out. Jane Doe alleged that Combs, his longtime lieutenant Harve Pierre, and a third unidentified assailant gang-raped her when she was 7.
Yeah, it turns out you should be able to come forward 20 years later and still get justice for rape, yeah. Because often the recovery sometimes takes a decade before they're even strong enough to tell the world what happened, you know? It's ridiculous to say that they can't come forward later. That guy is gone. He's like gone. I like this gun.
Manhattan recording studio in 2003. Pierre, who previously served as president of Combs Bad Boy Entertainment, had also been sued by a former assistant, who alleges he used his position of authority as plaintiff's boss to groom, exploit, and sexually assault her several times between 2016 and 2017. The lawsuit further claimed that men trafficked Doe across state lines from Detroit to New York City on a private jet, supplied the teenager with drugs and alcohol until she couldn't consent, and then violently assaulted her. The complaint also included several photos that Doe alleges were taken at the studio that night, including one where she is sitting on Combs' lap. "Enough is enough," Diddy said on Instagram. "For the last couple of weeks I have sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation and my legacy. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and for the truth." But it wasn't just women accusing him. In February of 2024, Combs' former producer and videographer, Rodney Lil Rod Jones, filed a federal lawsuit against Combs, alleging Combs sexually harassed, drugged, and threatened him. According to the lawsuit, Rodney Lil Rod Jones lived with Combs between September 2022 and November 2023, during which he worked on Diddy's most recent album, the Love album, Off the Grid. As Combs' videographer, Jones allegedly secured hours of footage and audio recordings of Combs engaging in illegal activity. The activity the suit alleges includes acquiring drugs, soliciting sex workers, providing laced drinks to minors, and sexual assault. Jones alleges that he was the victim of constant unsolicited and unauthorized groping and touching of his anus by Mr. Combs. Mr. Jones was forced by Mr. Combs to work in Mr. Combs' bathroom as Mr. Combs walked around naked and showered in a clear glass enclosure. In the lawsuit, Jones also alleges that Young Miami, who is Diddy's most recent girlfriend, was among those who were paid a monthly fee by Diddy to work as his sex workers. Jones believed Diddy was grooming him with the goal of passing him off to others. While on a yacht in January of 2023, Jones alleges he was introduced to Oscar-winning actor Cuba Gooding Jr., who proceeded to grope and fondle him until being forcibly pushed away. Jones claimed that Diddy, who had dominion and control over Gooding Jr., failed to step in. Also in Jones's lawsuit, an unnamed rapper is mentioned as having been on Diddy's yacht, where they were allegedly seen consorting with underage girls and sex workers. The This rapper is described as a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj. Rapper Meek Mill is from Philadelphia and dated Nicki Minaj from 2014 to 2016. That same unnamed rapper, also an unnamed R&B singer, and producer Stevie J allegedly engaged in sexual intercourse with Diddy. This allegation has people looking at that clip of Meek Mill in the pool with Diddy calling him daddy more suspiciously. Also, 50 Cent made some jokes about Diddy and Stevie J on Instagram, to which Stevie J responded with not denying the allegations, but challenging 50 Cent to a boxing match.
However it go, I want you to fade, nigga. Fuck all that. Since it's entertainment, let me beat the shit out of you on TV or something. Don't duck that. I'm calling you out. What you want to do, Curtis?
But the most shocking allegation made in the lawsuit was Mr. Jones discovered that Mr. Combs has hidden cameras in every room of his homes, and that Diddy was secretly recording artists and powerful executives like Lucy and Grange, who was mentioned in the lawsuit, who may or may not have participated in the freak-offs. If this turns out to be true, we might see some of the most powerful people in the entertainment industry get exposed, and 50 Cent wants to be a part of the expose. He said on Instagram, shaking my head, "This is gonna be so good. What you wanna bet I'm gonna get these tapes? I'll pay top dollar for them. You been over there? I don't go to Puffy's parties." However, it seems as though Sean Combs' reign of terror may be over. On March 25th, 2024, Homeland Security agents and other law enforcement officers raided Diddy's homes in Los Angeles and Miami due to a possible ongoing sex trafficking investigation. Homeland Security expert Hal Kempfer added some insight that the evidence they're looking for includes laptops, flash drives, and anything that would connect Combs with the allegations. As of right now, we don't know what they found, and technically the feds never formally announced what they were looking for or why they were there. But it's safe to assume, based on the allegations, conveniently, Diddy was not even in the United States during the time of the raid. According to TMZ, Combs' private jet was spotted on the ground in Antigua, in the Caribbean, shortly after news of the raids broke. Many people believe he is fleeing the country, and today it seems like Diddy is spiraling. He just posted on social media trying to see who in the industry is on his side.
Hey, yo, right now, though, for real, yo, I need to know who with me, you know? Like, just straight up, like I don't have the time. If you
Oh my God,
with me,
shut the
let it
fuck
be known.
up.
If you don't with me, be quiet.
And just in case you wanted some more twisted allegations and insane conspiracy theories, take a look at the founders of Uptown Records, the people who gave Diddy his very first job in the music industry. Andre Harrell, dead at age 59. Heavy D, dead at age 44. Kim Porter, dead at age 47. And Al B. Sure, who was just in a coma for 2 months and almost lost his life. Al B. Sure is also the father of Diddy's oldest adopted son. Al B. had a child with Kim Porter before she left him, married Diddy, and had children with him. Albie has recently been trying to reach out to his oldest son, hoping that he will leave Diddy and come back home, and when he got out of his coma, he strongly insinuated that Diddy was the reason behind it.
We're going to be producing the Albie Shore life story. So hold on to your britches. You really understand how I ended up here. You're really going to be called open and ticket.
Now, why would Diddy want the people who got him into the music industry in the first place to all be dead? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. But it seems like almost everyone around Sean Combs for his whole career either dies, disappears from relevance, or speaks out against his devilish ways. Yet nothing bad ever seems to happen to him. He just seems to get more successful and rich. Is it a coincidence? Maybe. But for now, we will just have to see how this all plays out. Based on everything you have learned in this video, you probably think he is guilty. But as of right now, he is innocent until proven Diddy.
Oh my God.
The singer, whose latest album is called Love, is getting a lot of hate right now. This after federal authorities.
Thank you, Law and Crime Network, for the extra content for my stream. I've like
Notorious B1,
Thank you, Patrick
who released a song
CC,
called
for the
Big
extra
Daddy
content
a
for my
year
channel. I've
before
like
Juicy
your
that
channel.
sounds exactly the same.
The singer, whose latest album is called Love, is getting a lot of hate right now. This after federal authorities have raided 2 properties linked to him, one on each coast. Sean Combs appears to be part of an investigation into a sex trafficking operation. And of course, this comes as he faces multiple lawsuits that accuse him of assault and abuse, and he denies it all. We're bringing you the latest details to drop in connection with
Yeah, I believe I'm going to go to bed early. Unfortunately, I am tired and I don't believe I am providing good content and I'm out of it. And I've been exercising a lot lately and it has physically drained me. And I just did about, 45 minutes of work in the garden and I'm just sort of like getting older. And so, going to give in to bed. I really want bed right now. I want my bed right now. And I'm sorry. I work so much all the time. Almost every day is 14 hours. And so every once in a while I'm going to cut it short like this. So just a reminder, guys, you've been watching Skycat Live. This has been an 11-hour session. A little bit shorter than normal, but yeah, I got up pretty early today, and so gonna go to bed. And I want to say, come click on the cat space to donate. It's skycat.live is my website. I'm a full-time variety gamer all day every day. Put me on in the background. You know that when I put on the second Diddy video in a row, then I'm brain dead and then I'm not functioning totally the way I should be. So this session was recorded and it will be placed on my YouTube channel over the next day. And if you want to see something that you saw here, and tomorrow I'll play some Remnant 2 and and all that stuff if I was like less fresh. But I mean, I had a big dinner and I'm just out of it. I'm tired. And so thank you so much for your time. I love you guys. Thank you. Peace.